Green.
Alright. Is there anyone who wishes to recap what happened last time?
Kelmorn tried to get eaten by a crocodile. We fought a manticore. We found a dwarf body in the nest. We got some information that should help the hopefully not a flesh golem out on his trial. And we are now back in town. Oh, and Grayson's not stepfather is missing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we are just about ready to go to court.
Yes, right now the only person who has to call that guy daddy is your mother, Grayson. It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's just Anyway, don't we have to be somewhere? We should probably go.
Yeah, we also discussed splitting the party, right?
Yes, there was the discussion because you did find those surgeon's tools that have been identified as such. And I believe your plan was some of you check the area where those are usually made or sold, while the other half is present at the courthouse to see what's going on, what you have to defend against.
Check out the local surgeon bars and ask where we can find surgeons.
You have about 2 hours.
Pog, we have to find the free blades.
You say you're looking for surgeons, but you don't mean just any kind of surgeon now, do you?
Obviously. Chefs, barber surgeons, and, that guy who tailors things.
It's quiet. Posting a cat in the lounge. There we go. Cat has been posted.
Yeah, that's a cat, all right.
It's a bodega cat.
Who are you talking?
Is she responding? Theo?
I can hear her, but I don't know if she
we can hear
us.
I think her Discord's going. Hopefully she notices my message.
No, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Right.
That's why I said I posted a cat.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
it was quiet. It's just quiet for a little bit.
You're talking about surgeons.
Yeah. Who were going... which part of the group was going where?
Apparently you have to go to the courthouse.
Yeah, where else do we have to go?
Half the group is going surgeon tool hunting, half is going to the courthouse. I'll follow Kelmorn to the courthouse.
Yeah, the courthouse group stays where they are here. Everyone else goes here.
The courthouse sounds boring.
Well, what are our defenses for the 3 different crimes he's accused of?
At the moment we're focusing just on the one crime. And it's the issue of, we don't have much, what we can just do is put in the idea of a reasonable doubt that he was not the culprit, or at least not present for that crime mentioned. Now, it'd be nice to have some more evidence we can do on multiple days, later days, but the issue is right now we just need to plant a seed of doubt that it were not him. He hasn't got the scars from the bite. He does not speak as fluently as we require for that spewing of cursing that people have heard. And we've also got an incredibly shitty person who walked around with a severed face, along with surgeon tools, and we're digging up corpses. So I think we've got a culprit. It'd be nice to catch those, but for the moment we have a culprit who would be more likely to have been abducting and murdering people in the swamp than our client. But we've got no hard evidence. We've got nothing else except to prove that justice should be done instead of just using this poor fella as a scapegoat.
No, and then theoretically we can also make the argument that he wouldn't need a potion of dark vision, but
there's that too, but it's just a case of all we've got right now is suggestions, because the potion of dark vision, while handy, is a case of it's only in relation to the bloke that was digging up corpses and had those surgeon tools, and we don't have a full connection for them yet. It's more of it was likely it was these lads and not our client. And then the next day, well, hopefully by the end of the session today we'll be able to hop over there and again probably just dissuade them from the Aldi that Probably wasn't our client there. Probably someone else. The bigger issue is he definitely broke into that storage of antiquities. He definitely handed things over, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't his own will. He seems like he could be led by magic.
That also isn't a crime that's worthy of death. Mostly, we just have to get him off of the other stuff.
It's also not the crime he's been accused of.
Yeah.
Oh, he has been. It's just not getting brought out today. Today is just the murders in the swamp. Or the
But didn't the
abductions.
judge say even one guilty verdict means he's going to death?
Pretty much.
I assumed it was on the other stuff. I didn't think they were going to burn a man to death because he broke stuff.
All of those are each individual crime is basically mass murder.
Yeah, so as
Well,
long as we get him off of the mass murder.
Yeah, we can get. For breaking and entering, we could probably commute that to a nice, community service sort of thing. Get them socialised. They can pick up litter. Get them to help with the dung carts, But right now, our main focus is he was not there at the swamp at this time. Someone else. That's all we've got to work with. It's not much. And then we'll hoof it out to another settlement later today and then find out, was he there or was he not? But for now, we focus. And I need you to find some connection with these tools, because that'll probably be our culprit. We might even be able to find the bodies. But we need to get information right now. We've got fuck all. It might not be relevant in court today, or it might not have the time to bring it up today, but we could bring it up in other days as well.
Did we talk to the little girl and her parents?
What little girl?
The one that
The one he was, apparently absconding with while they were both laughing?
Oh no, that girl was dead. He brought the corpse of the girl to her father, and was seemingly laughing while doing so. And which caused the villagers to pick up pitchforks and torches and drive it away.
I see.
But that is part of the second case against the beast, not the first one.
Alright, well, that's still something we can probably work out on the stand itself.
Well, they're going to be
Or just
focusing
we'll
on the
talk to them.
swampland today.
True.
Right, well, shoot you fuckers. Get us clues, get us information. Go.
I should probably leave, but other Johnny can stay.
No, you take other Johnny with you. You need both the mental capacity on this.
Our 2 brain cells.
That's generous.
One is a
No.
clone.
One's on a timeshare.
Well, see, the thing is, I figure they can discuss with each other.
How can
it's
the
go-
shade be smarter than him?
It's like
very
talking-
easily.
It's like talking to yourself, but now it can actually answer.
But only through mime and interpretive dance.
What a cursed existence.
Yes, being a dwarf. Being short. Terrible. Not
Not
even
that
bearded.
short.
Not even bearded. What the fuck is wrong with you?
So Pog and Sybil will stay at the courthouse as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So who's going?
Apparently just Grayson and Johnny.
That's not enough. I need 2 others to go with them. I need adult supervision from those 2.
What has Grayson done?
What has
Oh, he's
Grayson
pretty
done?
young.
Shall we review? Grayson, look out, it's a flaming skull! Purple flame!
I cast. It's a different color flame.
What's
It was
Grayson
magic
do-
fire.
Oh look, there's Grayson tonight. What's he doing? His weasel dance.
Both perfectly normal things.
I'm a druid. I don't do weasel dances.
You also
Try
don't
to
have.
do a weasel and then dance.
That explains your lack of weasels.
It's true.
I can have a weasel. Do you want me to bring one? I can make a weasel right now.
Make a weasel.
But you can have.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I guess I'll use one of my my wild shapes to
No,
make a
no.
weasel.
That is you becoming a weasel. That is not providing a new weasel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's.
I don't have summoning animals prepared.
Yeah.
Prepared.
What
I
kind
could do
of
it
using
tomorrow.
shambles?
I could do it tomorrow.
Trying to bottom out the market.
Shorting the weasel stock?
No, bottom them out the market was what you used to do.
So who will be the adult supervision for those two?
Say that again without covering your mouth.
No, because Ilfrin has his hands covering his mouth, and he says that as he pinches the bridge of his nose.
I trust Pog to be a supervisor.
I'm not a babysitter.
That's why I said supervisor. I thought it sounded better.
Does it help to point out that as a magical creature's life hangs in the balance here? Does that stir anything within you, Mr. Pog?
My concern is usually the dead and departed.
I know, but
The ancient past.
would it not be a pleasant novelty for justice to be served correctly instead of just for the delight of the inbred people around here and the Cro-Magnons? Would it not be nice if proper information and authentic, what's the right sort of term for it? Authentic data were made use of here? It's about integrity and accuracy. Failing that, I'm going to have to bullshit as hard as I can in that court.
Would it not be an accolade to get off a creature with such staggering evidence against
Please, word choice.
To prove the innocence of a creature from which all were arrayed against. But you knew the proper information, the historical content.
What about custody of found objects? Clearly, we're going to encounter the rightful perpetrator. And there might be something of historical note that they possess that I should possess. Or at the very least, have credit for finding.
Very well.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, a lot of you are standing around here, and I'm not getting the story I can make out of this. So go, do, please. Find the information. Give me something to sing or talk about. At the moment, all I've got is one held note.
I could punch the judge.
No.
That'd be a story.
There are
Oh,
three judges.
There's two of me.
Good thing he's got 4 hands.
This is why Johnny needs to go help with the surgical tools.
I suppose I can aid them as well. Jeffrey chimes in. He's older than all of you combined, probably.
See, there we go. Mr. Yaffers can be the babysitter and whatnot. While Mr. Pog, you handle the investigation.
Very well.
Thank you greatly.
Well done. Shall we go?
Oh, and promise me you're not actually going to sing the defense.
No, of course not. No, I'm talking about for after this here, whenever we're talking about the tales of our journey. Remember, our chorus. It's a rallying cry that unites us together as friends. And Elfrin ran into the room.
I have not ran into any rooms in the past week.
I'm not sure that's true, but
Yeah, it's
Must
not
be
true as
having
we flash
tremors.
back to the many times the surface cuisine has disagreed with him and he's charged into the bathroom.
No. No, he's
And
very
Elfrin
acquainted
into
to the
the
surface cuisine at the stage of the game.
There need to be more spider attacks in bathrooms.
Right, anyway, go, shoot, go.
Alright.
And then he just looks at
Jeffrey
Elfrin.
stomps
So why
off.
are you here?
So who got drugged there?
Team Big Brain. There we go.
Oh, is that our official designation? Team Big
If Pog
Brain?
wasn't there, yes.
Also, is Kelmorn even on the map?
Yeah,
Yeah, Kelmorn's
Yeah.
here.
I'm among the buildings.
There you
Oh, you're hiding.
Yeah, I'm camouflaged like a wood elf would be.
go.
But he's only half of him still sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, it's a gut.
Once you're in court, everyone wonders where that voice comes from.
Nah, not in this case. Sure, he's walking in with his ringleader's attire. So big red tailcoat. And looks at Elfrin. So why are you here? What is your
Who would be
beneficial
next?
nature you're here for? I'm just wondering why you haven't gone on the investigation.
Who are you asking?
You.
Oh. I just thought it'd be better to observe how this is going.
Very well. I know why Sybil's
I'm
here
not-
anyways, because she loves to see me perform.
I'm not quite used to surface. What would it be?
Judicial
Court
proceedings? Aye.
Yes.
Nor am I, to be honest, so it'll be a learning experience for the both of us.
I definitely do try to avoid going to court.
Like, I've done a handful of woodland trials among some of my people and whatnot, and of course there's the old little chicken box courts in the farming village and all. It's all very simple, though. This one sounds like it could get complicated, but I'll just see how it goes.
Do Drow even have courts?
In the Underdark, no, not well.
Not one
no,
a male
but
would be
kind of.
relevant to.
Yeah, and even then, not really. It's all interpersonal. It would be basically you go all the way up to the High Council usually, and it's usually a collection of matron mothers who will agree on something and then do something if they have to.
Or not agree?
Yeah, or not agree. But point is, usually it has something to do with a bunch of matron mothers get together and then they do the thing.
And usually someone dies.
Yeah, usually if they're getting together, a house is being obliterated. Because they broke. There are Drow society laws, but most of them are
Alright.
house specific.
We're straying from the topic at
Yes.
hand.
You asked.
We are. Yeah.
Where should we go first? To
Investigation.
investigation. Alright. Let's see. What would Grayson and actually all three of them could know something. You all make me history checks, please.
Yeah, I know we joked, but maybe there is really a surgeon bar Johnny might know about.
Yeah, it's called the cut
Nah.
above the rest.
Let me see.
The sign is a cadaver with a slice of lemon in the hole.
Alright. Yeah, Grayson would definitely. I don't think Joffrey would have any idea where the surgeon's flats are, but Grayson definitely has, and Johnny as well. Probably got stitched up there more than one occasion.
Grayson has probably
Yeah,
tried
the
his luck in
surgeons-
some of the medical students.
Some of them do good work. Some of them do.
And the surgeon's flats are over here.
Yeah, they're about 2 doors to the left of where we're standing. Let's go.
There's a giant sign that says Surgeon's Flats.
Yeah.
A big arrow
Yeah,
pointed
but
at it.
I don't
Turns
know
out
where.
that Phantom Johnny found the sign.
I don't know exactly
He
where
can
they are,
read,
but
real
I
Johnny can't.
don't know exactly where they are, but I feel there's some subtle clues as everyone's walking past in scrubs.
Yeah, you are in the general area where surgeons and the people who make tools for surgeons live, have their workshops.
You guys actually know anybody here?
I can't say I do. Not like anybody specifically. But I have had a couple of bouts of, hey, can you put this, together so I stop bleeding? Accidents happen.
Yeah, I've been there. Usually by the
Well,
fault of someone else, but I've been there.
well, I'm just here to supervise, but I do believe you do not have to know someone to start talking to them.
That's a good point.
Like this guy in there. Geoffrey points at that shop. You could probably go in there and ask someone. You did find that there was a sort of craftsman symbol on those tools,
Yes,
in
a
case you have
raven.
forgotten.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I mean, might as well start here.
Very well. Grayson, lead the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what they have to buy. I'm gonna take a look at the shop to see what we can pick up.
I've got this sense of foreboding. I don't know why.
I guess I'll walk in, seeing as everyone else is effed off.
Looking at you expectantly.
Sure.
Yeah. Inside, you see an older gentleman look up from a sort of a newspaper or book. You can't really see because he's holding it behind the counter. Lays it to the side. Ah, young man, what can I do for you? New
This is what I'm
student?
gonna need help with. Of sorts. All right, someone's gonna help me out here. My brain is blanking. What do we come here for?
Well, why don't
Look
you
at these
just ask
tools.
about the surgeon's
Yeah.
tools?
Oh, yeah, we're asking. Okay,
Just
right.
ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I forget why we were asking.
Ugh.
Because he used the surgeon's tools, right? I'm trying. My brain.
You say,
I-
hey, do you know who
I-
made these?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
push past Grayson and just offer up the surgeon's tools.
Oh, yeah,
we were
the
looking
tools,
for
yeah.
the maker of these tools. They have a specific maker's mark on them. We were hoping to acquire some replacements.
Placements? He takes over the tools.
For another set. We have a certain supply, and we'd like to keep them the same, but no one at the university can recall where they were purchased.
Let's see. May I? He holds out the hand.
Sure. I hand it over.
He picks it up, looks it over. Yes, finely made. Worth quite a bit. Ah, it's this symbol. That would have probably been made by Zebraslav Horror. They are working from a workshop 1 street over. He gives you a brief direction to the place.
Thank you very much.
Right, is there anything else I can help you with?
I look over to what Johnny is currently busying himself with.
What is he selling around here?
There is actually not that much aside from a cabinet full of various medical supplies. There's also the place where the patients can lay down and you can operate on them. Surgeon's table. Operating
With the
table.
wheels?
Yeah, basically an operating table.
Okay, so nothing really here for us as adventurers.
No,
One more question.
It's just a surgeon who tends to teach students about the human body or non-humans, in case of elves, dwarves.
I will ask one more question to the shopkeep. What can you tell us about the makers of these? I mean, expensive? Is there going to be a wait list? Anything about them?
Not that I know of. He just tends to make high-quality tools. a bit reclusive, but well, tool makers like those, they tend to be.
Well, then we best be searching for him if he might take a bit to find. Thank you very much for the assistance. Let us be off.
Thank you.
Oh, I will. Have a nice day. Basically, the way he described this over here.
I assume the mob slowly meanders that direction.
The mob.
Really want to knock the
Yeah.
papers out of one of these nerds' hands.
So what does the building appear like
Okay.
from the outside?
It's actually fairly neat, but small compared to all the others. And seems to be basically the workshop, a bedroom, and not much else. The outside. I assume you're going straight in, or
Mm-hmm.
yeah. You do find a fairly small fellow with thick spectacles and hunched over a work table, fiddling with some files. And once you enter, he perks up, a bit surprised. Oh, hello there. What can I help you with?
I first need to confirm that you were the maker of these. We have some uh, not so great students at the university that seem to have misplaced a few tools in this set. And well, can you tell me if you were the maker? We might need to purchase some replacements.
Well, let me see.
Hand over one of the tools.
Just one?
I hand over the set of tools, but I
Yeah.
make sure that there's at least one missing before I went in there.
All right.
Not handing over the complete set and saying that there's a missing one.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, he takes it over. Huh. Let's see. Believe it's been a while since I've worked on that one. That was an amethyst. I'll have something in the ledgers, I'm sure. Give me a moment. He takes the set of tools to the back of the room, pulls out a thick ledger, starts rifling through it, and keeps rifling for quite some time. And eventually, he points at an entry. Ah, there. That one. That one was custom made, but never actually taken by the one who ordered them. I sold them off instead to the auction house. That was for one Vladka Kostel. Red hair. Tends to wear a green silk scarf, from what I remember. She is buying things occasionally from me. The owner never picked up.
And how much were they?
What do you mean?
Well, I
How much?
wanted to get a figure of how much it would cost to complete
much
the
they-
set. How much they originally cost, and what would be the replacement cost?
Well, the full set would have been worth around 300 gold. I sold them for a bit less, but, well, I had to get rid of them. And besides, I Don't have it that bad. I can afford that.
Did you say the redhead is who bought them or who ordered them?
No, the redhead was the one who bought them. He works for some auction house over here. But I'm not really sure which one.
You said green scarf, red hair, so he'll be easy to spot if we do see him.
Yes, I suppose. Well,
Who ordered
if
them?
you some foreigner used to study at the university, but from what I hear, he left the city.
Would Grayson know anything about this foreigner if he studied at the university? But he,
Oh, there are plenty of foreigners.
as they,
But-
if
but-
say he just
Yeah,
flew under the radar,
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
specific.
nothing specific. Also, the whole thing would have been a year or two ago.
Okay.
So it's
But yeah, if he didn't
nothing recent.
stand-
Nothing recent.
Yeah, and if he didn't stand out, it wouldn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, he left or something happened and he left. It can't tie it to an event. So
Yeah, no. The set has been around for around 2 years.
Okay. Could I have those names for university records?
The one who ordered the tools, you mean?
Yeah, yes. Just so that we can index them properly, because when we discovered that one of the tools had gone missing, no one knew where they had been purchased, and it took us quite a while to find your shop here.
I see. Well, that would have been a certain Sokar Elkared.
Why am I glad I can't read or spell?
It's officially soccer now.
That was the foreigner, not the
Alright.
redhead.
That was the
And-
foreigner, and the name of the redhead was.
he wants the redhead. Except not anymore because reasons.
Thank you very much. We should probably, just for completion's sake, take a stop by that auction house and finish our rounds
Course.
before we return back to the university.
Of course. Well, if you wish me to recomplete the sets, that would probably run you about, let's say, 50 gold?
Well,
We'll
you
have to ask
can,
accounting.
Would you
Yeah,
like to put an order in?
could you write down an invoice and we will bring it to the bursar?
Well, of course. Give me a moment. And he wanders off and jots something down on a paper.
He
All right.
returns to find everything has been stolen.
There's
Do
just
you
a weasel
actually-
standing there. He takes the piece of
And-
paper and runs off.
And you wait for him to be finished?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Eventually, he comes over. All right. Then, just for completion's sake, please do sign here and here for the order.
Okay.
But
I don't think we're authorized to just buy something right now.
No.
This is just a-
No,
Og doesn't want to write his real name.
yeah, I sign Tuso Elder Momaras.
All right. You know, there aren't many gnomes at the university.
Yeah.
All right.
I half expected him to like nudge Grayson, but no, that's great.
First thing he does when he gets back to his office is he's going to create a student. Their entire lifeline is
Yeah.
Operation Mincemeat just for Pog.
You will have to write me that down. That name you sign with.
Here you'll find I have procured underwear to show that this was indeed a real student.
Uh-huh.
It's the elf.
He's looping the elf into the equation.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Your stuck-up elf friend, yeah.
Aye.
That's great.
No way this will get back to you.
No way at all. Oh no. This is great. I'm starting to
but
regret.
I'm gonna see this actually, through and have it paid, and just it'll show up, and now there's like an excess tool in this set that has his name on it.
He doesn't steal things. He just puts things that don't belong there just to make him mad.
I'm starting to regret not going.
All right.
It makes sense.
And fuck it, I will actually pay for it right now.
All right.
Just gonna
Then
pay
I
off the
10 gold
invoice
for
when
this
it gets
trick,
delivered.
As he
Pay
turns
40.
to Johnny and Grayson with his hand outstretched.
I got a 10 gold on this. I want to see what happens.
Okay.
He's not going to refuse it.
It was 50 gold in total, so
Yes, and I hand over 50 gold.
plus 10 from, 40 plus 10 from Johnny.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Right. Mark that down on your sheets.
This entitles you to one tool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
I'd get Grace just got his head in his hand, just like, I can't believe this happened.
Yeah.
And now Johnny can officially say he's accessory.
Yeah, the man takes the signature. Side, what's the name? Not invoice.
Docket.
Contract. Yeah, whatever.
It would be,
The
would pretty much be
signature.
an invoice.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. Ah, well, thank you. I'll get to work on it soon.
Thank you very much.
And, I just want
Now.
to say, as a dwarf, sir, as a dwarf, you do very good work, I must say.
Why, thank you.
See ya.
And punches him.
Well, have a nice day.
Yes, let us to the auction house. Maybe we can find this Valdka.
Exactly.
Latka.
Vladka.
Right. There's more than one auction house, actually. But I assume you're just going around asking people if they've seen one, or are you just hanging around and trying to see if you spot one?
I think we would split up and do both. If there's
Yeah.
two, or where in the environs is the auction house? Since I don't see it marked on the map.
There's actually down officially, so let's say they are.
Did you ping somewhere? Because I didn't see it.
No, I haven't pinged yet.
Okay.
Let's say they are up.
Okay. We
That's
better
quite
get
a walk.
moving. Yes. Let us. hoof
It's
it.
not that huge a city.
So, yeah,
We're
I
not pulling
see-
a heart and running around the whole thing.
Yeah, if there's more than one, I'd say we would just try to case the block, so to speak, and ask people
All right.
at either end of the auction street where Vladka.
Well, you
Yeah.
can make me investigation or persuasion checks depending on what method of search you prefer. Investigation for just looking around, persuasion for asking people.
Yeah, Johnny will just keep a lookout.
Wow, great roll.
All right, Grayson.
What?
Roll an investigation.
Investigation or persuasion?
Your choice.
Why does this keep doing this?
Oh, his thing deleted itself. We'll be back.
You know, Ilfrin, I actually heard from a bloke, you've got a job offer.
I do?
Hey, that nice ringmaster of the Crooked Kin. He was interested in possibly hiring you for a show.
Why?
He just thought you were very unusual looking and thought you fit in well with his band of, the malformed and the strange and the crooked. No,
He gives you a look.
No, don't put that face. You've actually got a perfect opportunity here because you and him are kind of like opposites in a way. Although you both hate the sun. But what I was thinking, right, so he starts dressing in brighter colours. You start dressing in very, very dark colours, right? And then we get some cloth and attach the lengths of cloth from his shoe to your shoe and the other shoe to your shoe. And now you're his little shadow. You mimic his actions. And you do little, comedic turns of little expressions and gestures towards him. And then when he's doing shadow puppets of animals, you could actually change into the animal for a moment.
He is giving you a glare.
Look, now, I know you're scoring at this here, but Sybil, does that not sound like an entertaining time for wee kids?
Not bad.
There you go. You might be slightly popular. Kendra, what about you? That sounds like a fun time, eh?
Oh, it does sound lovely.
He doesn't scowl at her, but he keeps scowling at Kelmore.
Let's see here. So we'll have the ringleader Caleb, and at his side, Ilfrado, his shadow.
No.
Just think about it. You never know. You might want a wee career out of this. He then starts going through what few fucking papers they've got. Alright, back to you lot.
Yeah. Is Grayson back?
He
Yeah.
investigated.
He investigated, yeah.
Ah, right. Well, Johnny and Grayson, you both indeed spot a redhead wearing a green silk scarf in front of one of the auction houses, apparently taking a smoke break. While Pog is too small to see while he's talking to people.
Well, we'll go grab him before we approach.
So yes. So you make known that you have spotted someone, and we gather up and approach.
I mean, good cop, bad cop?
So-
How are we going to play this?
She sees you approach, takes just pulls on a cigarette, not cigarette, pipe. It looks at you, a bit wary, not quite sure what to expect from the three strange people who just approached her.
Good afternoon, I think.
Side-eyes,
No.
Johnny.
Roll a persuasion check. I don't think you're even
Yeah.
convinced.
What time of day is it? I never know anymore.
It is, at this point, around 11:15 maybe.
I was mistaken. I'm not used to the sun. I'm a dwarf. Good morning.
Yeah, it's not too far off from noon.
Okay, roll another persuasion.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry to interrupt your smoke break here. We're from the university, and we were looking for information about this set of tools that had come to. Well, we're looking for the owner of the tools because someone misplaced them in the university, and there's now 2 claimants that are really unconvincingly professing to be the owner of them. And considering their quality, I thought it best to just find an authoritative source.
I see. Well, have a look at them. Ah, those. Believe I vaguely remember them. Ah, and also, yes, indeed, there was this quite strange fellow. Had a quite striking hat. It's unusually high. You know, like a top hat, but twice the height.
Abraham Lincoln, got it.
And also these strange green tinted glasses. Not quite sure what he was going to do with those. But, well, I do remember that much. But don't have a name, unfortunately. Perhaps you could ask my employer. Oloklud, he usually keeps a record for those. Not
Could
quite
you
sure.
show us to which auction house this would be at?
Oh, well, quite right the one I'm standing in front of. Let's go inside.
Thank you
However,
very much.
I am not quite sure if he will be that willing to share information about his clients. You know, confidentiality.
I completely understand.
Right. In you go then.
Roll initiative. No.
Hmm.
Okay, so we go in, and what do we see?
Yeah, well, you're led through an office by directions. To the office through the hall where it's actually auctioned. And you find a bald man with just a few tufts of hair left above his ears. And he's rather corpulent, looks at you with calculating, greedy eyes. Ah. So, is there something you would like to sell? Or buy?
Actually, yeah, but not now.
In a way, yes. We are from the university and looking for some type of record of the rightful owner of these surgeon's tools that have come under contention within the walls of the university. They were found misplaced, one of the items missing, and 2 students claim to own it. I doubt either of them, but still it would be best to know who is the rightful owner to return it to them.
I see. And why have you not brought this to the attention of the guard?
I don't want to see either of them face any kind of entanglements. They're foreign students, and I don't quite want their first year to be tainted with possible criminal charges.
Oh, well, you could give me their names then. I can check if any of those are the owners, or is the owner of these tools.
Grayson, do you have those?
Yeah, the tools. Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No, the
names.
students, the first years that were professing to own such a fine set of tools.
Oh shit. You're gonna have to make something up, by the way.
Are you saying this?
No, he's thinking it loudly.
He's thinking about it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't there just be a record of the auction of these particular items, not without the name?
I hope Grayson is at least making an effort to show that he's looking at notes or something. So just standing there.
Yeah, no, he's trying to, he's got a piece of paper and he's trying to make it like he's looking at it, but he's trying to use his finger to write out the names without being suspicious. Because I can write with my fingers.
So, Johnny, what you were trying to?
I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
There's got to be.
Yes.
I have an idea.
While
Let's see.
Grayson is pretending to look for a name, Mr. Klud, Olo Klud, is also reaching for a ledger where he keeps track of various sales and such.
Also, on the topic of if we have anything to sell, you thought we might want to sell something. Actually, I've come into a few interesting items, maybe silver bars, some magnifying glass type things, very fancy. Probably in the realm of a few hundred gold. If you could maybe facilitate that at some point.
Perhaps. Please do show me them.
Oh no, I don't have the bag on me, but I will be able to bring them at a later date. That's why I'm asking it in the future.
Yes, well, if you have anything to auction off, I will gladly do so. Our usual cut will be, depending on the item, 10 to 20% of the total sale.
Okay. I'll bring it to my associates.
All right then.
I knew I should have carried those silver bars with me everywhere.
I'm surprised they're not strapped to your body.
They weren't worth silver, maybe.
I have one name from Grayson.
Oh, do we need more?
Yes.
You mentioned 2 names.
Yes.
You mentioned 2 names.
That is why there is contention. That 2 claimants.
And I do expect you to spell them out for
Yeah.
to say them.
So we have Ahmed Bikhill, and then I'm gonna make this one ridiculous. Mama Ziak Leverpold.
Kids these days.
Oh.
Well, those are quite the mouthful. And
Yeah, the second one was strange fellow.
I am sure I would have remembered those if they showed up in my ledgers. Simply because I would have no idea how to actually write those. But yes, I can confirm none of these is actually the owner.
Grayson just winces shit. I overdid it.
Or the one who bought them from us anyway.
Well, that does rather points to a wrinkle here. I would have doubted either of the students would have had the ready means to equip themselves with such things, but from a family member or a gift, it might have been possible. I do recall Ahmud, I believe maybe, was in the presence of an older gentleman with a large top hat and green spectacles. He seemed quite queer, but that's why I remarked upon him at the time. He seems to be doting upon Ahmud.
Give me a persuasion check.
Wow, are these rolls?
Deception.
Like, wow.
Do we have? I don't
Can
think
I-
your
can I
deception is
assist
any
in
higher.
any way?
Deception? Yeah, my deception is proficient. So.
I was like, can I also kind of assist him? Can
Yeah,
I get
you can.
advantage on that?
I suppose, yeah. You can roll deception.
I don't want to blow it. Grayson's on edge.
Okay,
He already
what are
thinks he
these
overdid it with
rolls?
these names.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I'm giving up. I mean, what the fuck?
It's just roll 20. Glad I helped.
I mean,
No.
Jarlaxle's rolling 12s
Yeah.
with an 11 modifier. Just saying.
Hey, roll the 1. It happens. Ugh.
2 and
Yeah.
a 4. What the fuck?
And Grayson's wincing harder now. Shit.
Call it the
shit.
8. It's a 14.
Just remember there are 20 sides on that dice. Just the upper 10 don't
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't seen any
yeah.
of them, so.
Those aren't for you. Those are for VIPs.
You gotta buy the
Well.
plus membership.
You gotta buy the season pass.
A natural 20
Oh.
token.
I hate that word. I hate the word season pass.
Yeah. Olaklut looks at you for a moment, then into his ledger again, then back at you. No, I am quite certain those two have nothing to do with each other. These names you mentioned, they do sound more like they're from the south, I believe. This gentleman who bought them. No, I do not think that was a family member.
I knew it. I knew that kid. Ah,
Well, I'm from Utica, and I've never heard of such names.
It's an Albany expression.
Oh, yes.
I didn't mean to involve you like this, but efficacy requires that I take you into a confidence about. We're not simply looking for the rightful owner of lost property. This has been involved in an altercation in the university that we seek to invoke criminal charges upon.
And Grayson's gritting his teeth.
I was hoping to avoid requiring you to take the stand in evidence if we could have solved this internally, but it may result that you will be, a warrant may be issued for you to stand and give evidence in trial.
Slowly
Hey,
backing
I wish I went with
away.
them.
Intimidation, please?
it could be awful time consuming. Johnny's gonna lean forward.
You're on your own for this
There's
one,
no
man.
fucking rolls. What the
Grayson.
let me just try animal handling at this point, because what the fuck?
I am proficient in intimidation. Can I give it a go?
Yeah, please, because you might have better dice than this.
It's only a
fucking guy.
+1.
I mean, depending on how you want to intimidate. If you want to crack your knuckles and threaten to punch him, you could also use strength instead
Yeah, like
of charisma.
Bob's looking at him sinisterly, and then Johnny just starts cracking his knuckles in the background.
Johnny's just leaning forward a bit and awful time consuming. I'd hate to waste your time like that, sir. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, roll. I don't care.
You know
It's
what,
probably going to be better
Johnny?
than my 4. Yeah, see, it's stats. I mean, fucking nothing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He looks at you, Johnny. So you're just... describe a bit closer what you're actually doing.
He's just kind of leaning forward, resting his arm on his knee, and fake chewing some gum and saying, "Yeah, could be awful time consuming. See, you got a nice business. I don't want to take you away from it for any more than it could be days, weeks."
He looks at Johnny for a moment, not quite sure what to make of this.
I work security.
I am not quite sure why I would have to be away for this long. I mean, I work here. The court could summon me at any time. He seems a bit unsure, but still refusing at the moment.
Come on, you know how the
Oh,
courts are. You get caught up in red tape, and always takes longer than you think.
They never just call you once.
Grayson,
Yes.
would you like... Yeah, that would be persuasion for Grayson.
Persuasion.
Yes.
Where is it?
And there goes the net one.
Did we eat the nat one? Cool.
No, roll. I'm sure it will be awful. Yes.
No, it's a
Is she still
9.
getting help from Johnny here?
It's like,
Yeah, can I get advantage on that?
Yeah. Sure.
No. I was joking.
just
but
roll
okay, I'll
again.
take it.
Just fuck.
Yeah,
Hey, at least it's a
it
15.
didn't really make a hill of beans a difference. Woo!
Yeah.
Odd. I want the other half of my dice back. Roll 20. I mean, technically, that was above 10.
Barely.
Yeah.
He looks at Grayson, Johnny, then Pog.
See,
Keep forgetting
where
the
was
name.
that roll before? Jesus Christ.
Did your credit card
Yeah.
payment finally go through?
Did you finish those
Yeah.
errands?
And eventually he just shakes his. I don't have a good feeling for you folks. If actually there's something with the cards involved, I suppose the guards will inform me. And he starts. He closes the ledger and shoves it to the edge of the table.
Very well. We will be back with the guards, and we will be confirming the unstolen nature of every single item in this auction house. You will be shut down for 3 weeks.
You will find that all items I have acquired and auctioned off are there
I know, but
completely
this
legal.
will have to be independently confirmed, as the item in question were used in a murder.
Most gruesome.
Surgeon's tools.
Yes, imagine the grotesque, incredibly gratuitous nature of slowly disassembling a body piece by piece.
I believe
First it
you
was
are
the
doing that
face.
at the university as well? Isn't it
Yeah.
called vivisection?
Yes, but not when they're alive.
That is the definition of vivisection.
No.
Are you
not
sure you work at the
not
university?
They do autopsies.
Yeah, they don't do vivisection. Not to students.
He had his whole life ahead of him. He's a good boy.
Well,
When I
I
went to
guarantee.
body to science, I didn't mean like this.
I guarantee you it has nothing to do with the person in my ledgers. So, please leave.
Give me a second. I need to check on something. Sorry.
We still got some leads.
He's gonna go switch his dice hacks on. He'll be back.
Stupid hat and silly glasses. That's what we have to go
Grayson
on.
doesn't
Also, he's not
start
from
leaving,
the
but
South.
he does, kind of look at Pog, look at Johnny, and then look back at the guy. Doesn't back up. He's trying to feel out the rest of what the rest of them are doing.
Grayson, I'm not gonna punch the guy. Jesus. Why would you even suggest that?
I'm
Johnny will
pondering.
get up and
I wish I had a message right now so I could be like, what the fuck?
I'm pondering if I should give you a hint.
They
hand
desperately
rhymes
need
with
it.
mint.
I mean, I'm not a smart man.
I mean, the name is in the ledger. You don't have to. He doesn't have to tell you. You can just read it.
But he closed the ledger.
Yes.
Well, we do have some other sneaky people that aren't us.
Okay, hold on.
Nope, actually, you guys comprise the stealthiest components.
Yeah,
Hold
after
on.
Draven's gone.
I've got an idea. It might be time.
Theoretically, I could be stealthy as long as I take 5.
No. Grayson's got this. Grayson's got this.
But yeah, it's true that it doesn't necessarily have to be completed today. I did mention you can present evidence for this case in the following
Well,
days.
I will
too.
suggest we leave.
Well, I shouldn't destroy all the evidence.
No. He
Okay,
kind of put his hand over yours, put it down.
I will wait to destroy all the evidence.
The evidence includes
Yes.
Kluth.
Let's wait on that. Sure. Pog, why don't we take a step out?
That
I
does
thought his
sound
name was Tuso.
that does sound like a wonderful idea. Please go.
And we leave.
Auction
But
master.
we don't go for. But I don't go far.
Do you
Yeah.
leave the actual auction house, or
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
we'll kind of move out the building.
all right?
Then here's the plan. Where's my weasel?
Can weasels read?
I can see through his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, can that weasel read?
I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna justify
a
that.
joke.
Grayson wouldn't even. Yeah, Grayson wouldn't even justify that with a response. He's just kind of he's moved away, but he's kind of trying to see if he can look through the doorway or.
We should probably get some distance first. We don't want to be on the scene of the crime we're about to commit.
It's not a crime.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, it is.
There was a window to the office. Technically, you could glance through a window inside.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just kind of lean up against a tree. I'm not doing anything here, officer.
I'm just having a weasel go.
It's not a crime.
I mean, that's very
Yeah, I
low.
guess
Leaning up
what
against
about doing
trees is
crimes,
not a
kid?
crime.
So have we killed this guy yet?
No.
Thought about it.
No, I've got an idea. We should leave, Pog. Do what the man says.
Yeah, right, you leave.
Just remember that you are known as Weasel Boy in the university, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I know. How do you think I got that name?
Crimes,
Starts.
apparently.
As he starts, he does the whole, was it Emperor's New Groove? Squeakity, he looks at the weasel. Squeakity squeak, squeaker McSqueaketh. Squeak.
Squeak. Squeak, squeak,
Yeah.
squeak. Squeakery squeak.
Don't you talk back to me, you little bastard.
The Squirrel Scouts, yeah. And I try to.
Hiss, hiss.
Can I try to slip the weasel into the auction house?
It is a horrible
Probably
idea.
just, let the weasel walk into the auction house.
Yeah.
What route would you like to try? Kind of route.
Yeah. I mean, he's just gonna try to go into the front door. Stealthily.
Yes, I'm assuming waiting until someone actually goes inside.
Yeah. Why can't I open?
Do give me a
Maybe.
stealth. Do give me a stealth check then. I will
Not a
also note
distraction.
this. I will also note this may take a bit longer. That's perception, not stealth.
Oh, what? I think something's wrong with the weasel sheet.
There you go.
Didn't matter.
Yeah, it's not rolling well.
Let's see.
I had a hard time selecting it.
All right.
Now Grayson's sheet's wrong.
Wait. Wrong.
Grayson's sheet F off to.
All right. The lady with red hair, Vladka Kostel, eventually is done with her pipe and goes back inside. However, your weasel slipping in does not go unnoticed as she starts shrieking and kicks at it. However, she misses and falls on her butt and makes a bit of a scene as the weasel slips inside. But
Oh, good, good. I've
It
really
has
been
been-
paying attention to that. Excellent.
it has been noted.
But while everyone's
As-
looking
as-
around that,
As she
Weasel's gone.
screams, "Get this weasel out of here!" Well, there is a screaming woman at the door, and you get the feeling weasels are not wanted in an auction house where it could gnaw on valuable things.
Yeah, but in all the commotion, he can go dash for a hiding spot. He's in.
Make me another stealth check then. As the lady and some assistants start searching. Yep, they run around, don't quite see anything as you're hiding probably under some shelf or behind some chair.
Borrowing this mouse's hole, you know.
Yeah. It takes a while though, if you're just staying here to wait until they are done searching.
Yeah. I'd have to wait it out.
Is Grayson like incapacitated when he's doing this with the weasel? Can you still
Just-
see us and hear us?
He's just blind and deaf, I think, but otherwise he could move. Theoretically.
Johnny, cover me. His eyes roll in the back of his head. He starts foaming at the mouth.
I was thinking about putting his hand in some warm water to make him pee himself, but I guess that won't work.
The worst part, though, is when his ears physically curl up to close.
They just kind of shut like a clam.
Yeah, but yeah, it takes 10 minutes or so until they give up. And the woman makes her way to the office you just left.
Shit. Ledger. How am I gonna get there?
Front room?
Yeah. Well, the ledger's not in the office you went to? Okay.
It is.
Yeah.
The ledger
that's-
is in the office. She's currently going there. Perhaps to warn her boss about a weasel problem.
Seems a gross overreaction.
Yeah.
Sure, there's wild animals all the time.
I mean, any sort of vermin in an auction house is probably unwanted. And yes, I just called his weasel a vermin.
Why he killed so many of them?
Grayson the Exterminator. What is Weasel going to do?
Can Weasel? So they're in the office. He wants them to leave the office. Can I try to make a commotion in another room? Make like a noise, knock something off a shelf, or
Yes, I suppose you can.
yeah.
So-
If you do that, though, won't they then be more inclined to look for your weasel?
Yes, that would make sense. That
So you should do something that a weasel wouldn't normally do. Start a fire. Remember, your familiar can use touch spells.
With his spell list, I can also think of another. At least one other way.
Gotta have an
Possibly
invisible
two.
weasel.
Yeah, just from a brief glance over his spell list, I can think of 2 options to get this done.
Yeah. Just looking at how things work. Hey, I thought I had. I don't have that spell. Identify. I had invisibility.
How bold is Grayson?
So,
Or
touch.
how much does he care about the whole thing going unnoticed?
He wants it to go unnoticed if possible. A fine, upstanding citizen. But I'm puzzling this out right now. Head.
I mean, you can see into the office.
Yeah. Can weasels carry things?
Not that ledger.
Damn.
It's probably 2 or 3 times as heavy as the weasel
Yeah,
itself.
that's what I figured.
So the lady goes inside and sits down, starts complaining about a weasel, and then just general business talk. And funnily enough, these 4 weird people, well, 3 and the stone statues come up as some fishy people, which might need to be reported to the guard.
How long has he been in there?
At this point, 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
10, 15
all that.
minutes.
Yeah.
10
Johnny
minutes
would
when
fuck
they
off to
start
get some
looking for me,
snacks.
and then
Johnny's,
Yeah, like,
Johnny's going to the
let's-
bar.
Leave Grayson standing there.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking at my spell list and I'm not connecting the pieces. Maybe I'm not a smart man.
I would be on my way to the judge's house.
We just
I
left
wanna
you
get-
there.
Yeah,
Wait.
I want to get this place shut down.
Oh, wait,
I'm gonna be
Is it-
true to my word. I'm gonna
I
bring the
can
guards there.
cast Misty Step on the. I can cast
What are
Misty.
you gonna? There's
It's
nothing
self.
you can
You
get
can-
the guards there for.
I thought
can-
I thought it can only cast touch spells. It can cast spells on itself too.
Yeah.
I
touch-
checked.
Okay, that's. I thought it had to be a touch spell. I didn't know it could.
I mean, it doesn't say you take things you have on you with you. However, you can see into the office.
Okay. Alright, so. Oh wait, so you mean for Grayson himself? Okay, because I can see through the window.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the plan. The weasel makes itself known.
No one's near you. You don't need to say this to anybody.
That's the thing, his vision comes right back to him as he's saying, here's the plan, everybody, and they're just fucking gone.
No. The weasel makes itself known and tries to draw people out of the office.
Sounds like a code phrase.
All right, what are you doing? Smashing some pottery, setting things
No.
on fire.
No, he's kind of just like he's looking for a table, just kind of. I'll
Jump
try to
around.
knock something off a table, or make a noise in the other room.
Yeah,
Reach and
that would
jump
be
around.
And when they leave the room,
do roll me a D100 for how much destruction you cause.
okay.
It's not 100. This is a bad time for a high roll.
Oh, so that's fine. Slash over.
Oh dear.
It is not quite a chain reaction, but
A man dies.
My leg!
no, but some glass shatters. An urn also is toppled over. There are now some ashes on the ground. Probably someone dead. And with a lot
And
of
when that
cursing.
happens, I'll snap back to myself.
Alright. Your
And without
weasel is
saying a
left.
word.
Your weasel is left alone in there
Yeah, he
With-
knows to get out.
with
Yeah.
4 angry people.
Yeah, he knows to book it. And when everybody's paying attention to him, I will Misty step in and try to take the ledger or try to get to the ledger.
Yeah, you can pick it up quite easily. In the meantime, let's see if you. What's the weasel's AC again?
Weasel's AC.
You'll take 2 attacks of
13.
opportunity of commoners. 13.
13, yeah.
Let's see if they roll a 14.
Damn it.
Yes. Uh, actually, I give you another chance. I roll 1 before -1. If it rolls minimum damage, it doesn't kill him. Nope.
Yeah, oh, that's not
Weasel
minimum.
is. Weasel gets dumped on the way out. But you have the ledger.
I hope it was worth it.
I hope you're gonna put it back eventually.
But yes, you are now in the office with the ledger.
You might want to get out.
Yeah. So we're gonna step right back out the way we came.
Very well then. In the meantime, Joffrey would have followed Johnny into the bar to keep an eye on him, unless Pog objects.
I'm sticking to my word, going to the judge's house to see what type of legal pressure we could have put on the auction house to get this ledger. I am completely ignorant of Grayson's plan.
We never saw this. We just left as soon as we got told no. We left, right, Pog?
Yeah,
Oh my god. I should have gone with you all. I feel dumb.
This is
I think Ilfrin should have gone into the room.
no, you would have
My
rolled
fucking
ones as well.
God.
Alright, so you are going to search for any legal documents.
Well, any legal leverage that we could have put against the auction house to
You
get
are
the
aware
record.
this would probably take some time, like
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, in that case,
Alright.
Grayson's
We're on a
gonna
time
take his
crunch,
ledger and he's gonna go
Pog.
try to find
Yeah,
Johnny and Pog.
that-
Because what the
That
fuck,
means
guy?
that would mean Pog would probably miss the trial.
Well, I don't even know what fucking time it is. So yeah.
At this point, around noon, and at 12:30, the defense is supposed to take the stand.
Well, that's why at least I would try to get to the judge before the trial to inform them of this possible evidence that we have about a third party, and at least
Alright.
inform them that evidence may be forthcoming through much difficulty and name and shame those who were,
So you would go to the courthouse to defend.
yeah. To find the judge, yes.
And
Yes.
once
The judge
Grayson
is-
realizes that Johnny and
All right.
Pog aren't there, that's where he would head to, because he would assume that's where they went.
And Johnny stays in the bar.
He'll start around 12:30 is when he'll head down to the courthouse. Just see the guys do the
All right.
defense.
All right. Actually, I'll be gone for a few seconds.
Oh, it's a good thing Grayson didn't come after Johnny, because oh boy.
And Grayson's just walking to the courthouse going, son of a bitch, this is an expensive ledger.
It'll cost you several years in jail, I think.
No, he's only thinking about the familiar.
This ledger
And you said
is
there would be
worth-
no actual crime.
This ledger is worth many
I'm
weasels.
just borrowing it.
Yeah, I think we should have just, hold personed and tortured him or something. I don't know.
We could have read his mind and just
That was
ripped
one of
it
the
out
things
of
I was
there.
considering, but then I was like, no. Because I was trying to think, what could the weasel do? I didn't want to get Grayson involved, but I guess I had to. I was like,
Alright.
can the weasel do
Back.
anything? Can I give the weasel a taser?
I am back now. So
Correct.
you are all converging to the courthouse now. The rest of the group.
Yep.
And Grayson with the ledger.
Yeah, because once he realized Pog and Johnny were gone, that's where he would head, because he'd be like, that's probably where they went.
All right. The stolen property goes to the courthouse.
I'm just borrowing it.
One could argue we are agents of the court.
Pog
Yeah.
probably would argue that.
Ilfrin is going to deny any knowledge of this.
Yeah, you weren't there. It's fine.
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, Grayson was able to convince the guy to hand over the ledger. I wasn't there.
All right, then let's go back to the three people at the trial, what they have witnessed thus far. What? What was that?
Nothing.
No, that was my mother.
All right. To move this out of the way. Those are not actually there.
Yeah, Johnny's gonna be like half an hour late anyway.
Yeah, and you to take your places here. The beast is brought up here before the whole thing begins. This up here was the preparation room where you can discuss things with Barrister Capel and make your plans. Were there any more plans to be made before the trial starts, or?
Well, we found bugger all despite going to one source, so no. This is all we've got.
Huh. All right. At the trial, there are at the front the three justices. There is, of course, Embrath Daramit, the old friend of your old friend, now deceased. There is Ambrose Card, the middleman. Barrister Capel warns you that he can't take a joke, so you gotta keep it a bit serious, or you might get fined. And
Pog is totally going to be held in contempt of court.
And the last one, Judge Casp Aldar, used to be a former general, and quite ruthless at that. And likes to give the highest possible punishments to any lawbreakers and criminals. There's also a cleric who is there to watch over the whole proceedings, because magic is actually, the use of magic for the trial is actually forbidden. There is no place for this in a fair trial, according to local laws. And as such, she is constantly scanning the room with detect magic for anyone who might try something fishy. And in some rare cases, during extraordinary circumstances, some magic, such as Speak with Dead or Zone of Truth or something like that, might be allowed. However, you have to make a good case that this is actually required. And yeah, should anyone be caught, they will be fined. And if this is a repeat offense, they will be removed from the courtroom and forbidden entrance, and potentially even locked away.
Oh, I think we're missing
Right.
a Kendra.
Kendra would be not inside, not actually be part of the defense. Yeah. It starts off with the judges basically telling you all, repeating all of that what I just said about the rules of the court and the proceedings. First, the prosecutor, Otto Heige, will be outlining the case and the current case for the murder of the people of Morast. And then the defense will be allowed to speak. It starts off with several people from Morast who describe the events as such. There has been people going missing, and it has been seen, and a huge man has been seen dragging them away from the village, mostly kicking and screaming, and they were never seen again. In total, this happened 10 times before they finally got up and decided to drive this creature, this monster, which they have decided must be the Beast of Lepidstadt, to drive it away, and followed it to the graveyard where it has been last seen. And as they did, and started to threaten it with pitchforks and just the sheer power of the mob, like 30 or 40 people, they managed to drive the beast away. It fled, was attacked by a blood caiman, and bitten at the shoulder, and has been cursing loudly as it ran away. And at the end, the village elder, the lovely person you've all met, takes the stand as well to confirm it. And No, that would be about it. And all of the accusations and supposed evidence is met with loud cheers from the people up at the podium, who do sometimes yell down profanities at the beast, and are only quelled when the middle judge, Casp Aldar, starts to threaten them with Ambrose Card starts to threaten them with fines and being removed from the courtroom if they continue. And once that is done, the prosecution leaves and the defense is called up. And Barrister Capel looks at you all. Well, would you like to present your evidence?
I would assume as much, aye. So, good evening, your assembled honours. I am Kilmont Hessel, Woodland's lawyer, and this is my friend Elfrin here, who specialises in bird law. And of course, my good lady Sylla here is a mechanical genius. First of all, I'd like to suggest that the Beast of Lepidstadt is a pretty prejudicial name. For the time being in the notes, can we just call him Stead? Because the fact is, this is a thinking person. Magical construct, sure, but one who's intelligent enough to think and reason. And to just call him a beast is a disservice and contains any sort of hearing.
For the purposes of this trial, I think it would be best to keep the actual name people have given it, since it did not give us any name of its own. We will keep referring to it as the Beast.
Well, alright then. So, first thing of our clear defence is, all the witnesses have agreed on one simple fact. Us, a few others of course, but the one corroborating thing is, it was bitten down upon by a blood caiman. I myself have actually gotten up close and personal with one of them, and I can say they've got quite an assortment of teeth of various lengths, shapes, mostly sharp. And if they properly crunched down, they would leave a vicious scar, or at least some evidence of it. May I direct you to either of the Beast of Lepidstadt's shoulders? Well, you will see that at no point, among all the bruises and dirty marks and such, there is nothing of a penetrative nature.
They all take a closer look at the beast. And do give me a persuasion check, please.
Okay. To convince people to see no scar, right?
No, that's...
Yep,
it's
the rolls are
just...
no good.
it's just basically... there will be several persuasion checks rolled just to convince people that this might actually be relevant.
This one feels pretty
Alright.
clearly relevant.
Yes, which is why certain things will also get sizable bonuses. But yes, there is some mumbling, but some agreement.
So that is an initial issue with the witness testimony. And I'd like to provide further indication that our client here was not the one accused at the time or witness at the time. And there may be other perpetrators at hand. There are certainly nefarious presences working around in the swamps at the time, separate from our client. Another one that's a little trickier is he was also heard laughing and swearing quite fluently. To put it simply, my client here has a bit of a stilted lexicon. He's not quite as fluent and flowing in his wordage.
It would appear so, but it had This creature has been a bit strange ever since he had been caught. It has been.
I'd like to
The
bring up
guards
that
mentioned.
his behaviour has not been properly documented prior to his capture, so we cannot say that he's been acting strange at this point on.
Mhm.
This is all the evidence we currently
Fair
have
enough.
for his behaviour.
Fair enough. However, you do mention other perpetrators. Who would that be? What gives you the idea that there have been other perpetrators?
Well, during our investigation in the swamplands, and it would be nice to get a little more, considering we're bringing new evidence into this case, it would be nice to get an extension on some of these trial periods considering, as after all, we are trying to make sure that justice is done here and not simply a scapegoat found for issues that are still ongoing. But we'll begin with, we came to an island which was the area of the attack, at least of the attack of the figure with the blood caiman, where we found upturned, disturbed and desiccated graves. We found the corpse of a dwarf who also had quite a lot of equipment with him, various digging tools, some very fancy, much more out of his means, surgical tools, along with the fact that among his possessions was this. I'm afraid it is a little bit unsettling, people, as he turns around. Please do your best here, but it's required to see. This facial mask here, which is actually the face of one of the visitors of the swamp town. This is someone's visage who's been carved off the body and worn as a disguise from a distance. Among his possessions as well, and remember this is the dwarf we're dealing with, was a potion of dark vision. Now, a potion of dark vision, not needed for the dwarf, and, as has been ascertained, not required by our client here.
I suppose that might be. That could be a grave robber, for all we know. After all, the witnesses have given testimony that the creature they saw take away their loved ones was quite tall and bulky. Not of the stature of a dwarf.
No, certainly, but as also saying, the dark vision potion would not be needed by the dwarf either, and the surgical tools seemed far beyond their own means. They seemed like a simple helper-labourer type.
And what does this have to do with the case that the beast is accused to have dragged off?
Perhaps they weren't just upturning graves, perhaps they were looking for fresh bodies. And it's a simple fact that means that it was nefarious and strange people who were in the swamp itself around the time, certainly. After all, we see our client here has no bite mark. But our unknown assailant and perpetrator might indeed have one. They might have been the one who was also able to fluently swear in a fair, colourful way, which our client himself cannot actually manage all that well. Even in proclaiming his own innocence, he struggles very deeply to make it a coherent sentence. There are many clues here of sinister goings-on, not related to our client.
Give me a perception check.
That's better.
They seem to deliberate for a moment. Well, there might be someone else involved. However, it's as the witness testimony stands, it is still apparently the beast that has been seen.
I will point out, Your Honours, that the most easy to ascertain point from all the witness testimony was that he was bitten ferociously by a blood caiman. And we see no evidence of that whatsoever on our client. That is one corroborating fact between all of them that is simply not here at all.
During the last attack, yes. What about the other 10?
Well, that is why we are currently chasing up on the potential culprits. But we only had a few hours yesterday in order to even find out that this existed at all. So we will need a bit more time, I believe, before we can actually bring up a simple answer on that there. But considering their testimony has that gap in it, I think there's a reasonable doubt to assume that there is more that can be uncovered here.
That might very well be the case. Is there any other evidence you could present? Any idea who this other culprit might have been?
Well, no, at this current time it isn't, because we are following up on an investigation. I said we had the surgical tools and have been looking for the owner of those. But
What
we
is
have
that
had
about?
we have had scant few hours, Your Honours, considering you're doing this hearing today.
Yes, that is the case. We have been withholding that trial for almost a week to allow the prosecution and defense to gather evidence.
And yet, if I may say, it seems surprising that none of this evidence which we turned up within a single evening of investigation was found previously. We have found here a man who is running around with someone's face sliced off him. We have found evidence of grave diggings. We have found this dark vision potion, and also small little personal vessel and surgical tools that describe a more nefarious nature.
Yes, that is true, that there are apparently other going-ons.
So I'm suggesting that with a bit more time and grace, we could actually ascertain a bit more facts on this case.
We do have a certain schedule to uphold. However, if you find any more evidence, you will have tomorrow and the day after to present those.
And I would like to point out that the only evidence that has been put forth against our client here already has a large gap in it, as opposed to the many gaps that should be on his shoulder but are missing. I'd say ours is more indicative.
Well, there is also the creature's nature. You mentioned that it is quite unique, and the attack has been...
Well, no, I said unique. You can't have quite unique.
Alright. However, the creature is clearly not human, and the whole attack has been described to have been 7 months ago. So I would say it is uncertain whether or not we would actually see scars. However, I will not deny that there are other things at play in this particular case, perhaps. Without any further evidence in that regard, I'm afraid this evidence might not be enough. It will be up for us to decide once the case has been closed. Well, the trial has ended. So, if there is no further thing to add?
I mean, our character literally isn't.
It's like, are we
Yeah.
still walking this?
No, I think at this point you have slowly arrived here.
Okay.
Ah, I see they arrive here. Your Honours, I'd like a few minutes here to consult with my experts here.
Very well.
Right, tell me you fucking got something.
Yeah, I just thought I had actually walked ahead to tell as
Yeah.
such.
Yeah.
Yep. Weird that.
Let us sequester ourselves in your
ah.
office here.
Right. Right. I've misinterpreted that then. I thought you were making your way after, basically when the whole thing started.
I mean, we ditched Grayson at the start of that weasel shenanigans, so...
Yeah. But yeah, eventually you would all arrive and have some time to deliberate. While Barrister Capel is filibustering the shit out of this.
Yeah, we're going to arrange the defense while the defense lawyer is just sort of sitting there.
Menacingly.
Yes, he has. He does have a speech impediment. Which makes one wonder how he even got the job, but... Well,
Right, well, it's a blatantly hostile panel there. I'm not seeing a lot of sympathy there. I'm not seeing a lot of consideration for the actual facts. They just want something they can burn. So, have you found anything useful?
We have a lead. It's not much.
That is more
So-
than we currently have, for we provided them with everything. I've shown them off the bloody face mask, and they're not given much of a consideration.
How about a funny hat and some weird glasses?
Yes, the surgical tools were made for a. Scroll back up after all these shitty rolls. A Zokar Elkrid, but he did not claim them. They were instead auctioned off to, and I look over at whatever auction house that was we were at, and I
Yeah.
lean over to
To the
Grayson.
incredibly furtive-looking Grayson, with keep holding his coat together for some reason.
I assume he would have had opportunity to look in that book by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it would have been possible to find the entry for the surgical tools. And he would be able to determine that that the tools have been purchased by a certain Radnich.
Well, there's one to
Give me
type
good
into the
stuff.
chat.
Yeah.
Oh, good work, Grayson. How'd you get a look?
I mean, I just reasoned with the guy. I said it was court ordered, and
Alright, we have it.
That's
Just a
good on you,
little-
lad.
Is it obvious that he's holding a book in his coat?
Is it obvious? Or would you try to hide it?
Is he going to be able to hide a book?
why would I?
I mean-
why would I need to hide it?
He has a spellbook, so he could
Yeah.
try to pass it off as a spellbook.
Alright, we have a name Radnich. Very nice.
yes, a tall gentleman wearing a stovepipe hat and green spectacles.
Right, those are
And
the
we know he's
collection.
not from the south. That's relevant.
Thank you, Johnny, for your contribution. No, I mean that. So we've got some narrow features here. Do we have anything else about this man? Potentially that he's some sort of criminal.
And he had money to buy these.
Because
Grayson,
right,
give
because right now
Grayson,
they're,
give me a history check, Grayson.
because
you
right now they are
have a chance.
demanding an alternate suspect's name right now. So I cannot go out there and just in good conscience say, "Oh, it's this Radnick guy. He's weird looking."
It might work through this court.
With this court, it would certainly
mean-
work. They are eager for someone to burn.
I mean, you
Especially
can.
if they're funny looking.
That's what's stopping you.
Integrity,
Grayson,
Grayson.
Grayson, do the history check.
I am.
Hang on, I'll give you inspiration.
No.
You get a D6 to roll. There you go.
Nice.
18.
Just look in your eyes and just say, "We need this, you know. We need something we can follow up with, or this gentle creature is going to die. Look at this face, Your Honor. Is this the visage of a murderer? My client could not be accused of eating of killing those people because he would have eaten the corpses. Look at him."
The corpses were never found.
No, one was. Well, at least seen.
Which one? Oh, yeah, the baby, the child.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do remember that there is a certain Radnich's shop, which is usually it's quite an odd shop which specializes on things students might need, at the university mostly are chemical, some of them medical as well, and tends to deal in second-hand items.
Arms, legs, livers.
I mean, shoot, I can head right back out if you guys want me to go to that shop. I don't know if we have time today, but
But we have to get the name of whoever got these to get somebody else at the scene.
'cause I don't think
We
it was
might-
the shop owner.
No, I doubt it's the shop owner. So we need to find out who bought it from the shop. And we also have to get out to the other place before Bernie McGee's over there are going to start burning people.
Well, no, right now we focus on the current issue, which is we need whoever has these fucking tools.
Which likely could be a student.
At the moment,
Yes.
Pog has the tools.
Yeah. And we have the tools.
Are
But
you ready to take a dive?
no.
Just a thought, we're currently in a bit of a bind here.
Be quite
I mean-
a twist if it was Pog the whole time.
If only we could use Johnny too, but I don't think he'll burn well.
I mean, he can burn multiple times. That might help.
It's quality over quantity in this case.
On the opposite.
So, he looks at these ne'er-do-wells and ragtag bunch. Would you be able to keep following up on this?
I'll go to the shop.
Considering the ordeal we just went through, it may be best to even approach that shop at night.
Why?
Ooh.
No, you know what? Don't want to know. Right now,
It
it will
was-
not
it
be
was-
helpful. It will not be helpful to me providing a defense if I know the circumstance of how you got a hold of this, I suppose.
It
I
was
plug my
cordial. No
ears.
crimes were committed. None.
Scrutinize Johnny here.
Well, Johnny really didn't commit any crimes, so he's not even lying.
Yeah. Yeah. Technically, only Grayson is the
Although-
one who knows crimes have been committed.
That's the point. Like
it
when you
was
say
clearly.
that. Yeah, but what about that person you threatened?
Yeah, it was.
Do I believe
I
no
didn't
crimes were
threaten him.
committed from any of those three?
We didn't threaten him with Langdon.
Kind of threatened him, Grayson. I'm not
Grayson.
gonna lie to you.
Grayson, make a deception check. Check. Yeah, deception check.
That's not deception. I call bullshit.
I did kind of threaten the guy just a little bit, but I didn't say anything outright mean.
I rightly
Yeah.
brought up the entire quagmire he could get into in handling
Yeah, we merely
stolen
we merely
goods used in a
explained the
crime.
situation.
Yet
Grayson,
he's-
roll your deception.
I am
You know, you
because
smashed.
I'm on a remote PC.
You smashed property and
He
stole
didn't
a
do shit.
ledger.
That was some weasel.
Yeah, that was a weasel.
He stole
Yeah.
a ledger.
Grayson.
Yeah, that bit we get.
These dice.
Even Johnny's now turning to
I
Grayson.
mean, it was only a plus
Huh.
2.
Still, though, yeah, I know, but like, what? There are 20 sides on these dice.
Not
No,
for
there's
you.
only 4.
Not for you.
Yeah. Pog, did we leave him unsupervised at any point?
Yes. You went to a
Oh, yeah, I
bar,
went to the
and I
bar.
went to supposedly get information here before the trial.
I turn and look at Sybil.
That's fascinating. Johnny, why'd you go to a bar instead of watch over Grayson?
I wanted to see if Jeffrey could drink because he's made of stone. And
That's not
apparently
a
he
good
can't.
enough reason.
It
We
also
have-
doesn't make any sense.
We have to watch out for
Okay.
each other. Especially when it comes to you two.
I thought
Okay.
we were done there. I was taking a break before the
Sybil,
trial.
any thoughts, my love? I agree.
Let's see. He was bitten, so it should have left a scar, not healed. Or would
but
he
then,
take a-
then the
long
counter
time
back
to
that
heal.
he's some magical creature, so that maybe he wouldn't. Although, as you look at him, he's got plenty already from the fucking prison cell. Like, he's bruised and all, isn't he?
Yeah, he looks roughed up,
Yeah,
but
so-
it also has been not that long ago.
We could bring up his vocabulary.
already tried
I
that.
already did that.
They're not convinced, considering they don't know his current his behavior before and after.
Yeah, I have a
What do you
point
mean?
there.
They have evidence that he was
Um,
screaming and shouting and swearing, and look at him now. How much has he cursed at all?
I know, but they're not taking that into account. They've already brought it
Yeah.
up to him.
do give me an insight to see how convincing that might have been on the judge. Overall, the
what?
mood of an insight to, if you want to see what the general mood of the judges has been.
All right. I have been rolling all under 10s today.
Mhm.
Hey, thank you, Pop.
Hog, you weren't even here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a
Not
negative
20 is
too.
an 18.
Yeah, I wasn't even here, and I could hear it from. I mean, fuck, I
Yeah.
should have been here because I said I was coming here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ilfrin, you get the sense that the judges were mostly annoyed at the shouting from the podium, not the podium, from the area where the citizens shouted profanities down at the beast. They did consider the evidence, and even though they might not be fully convinced, they are at least considering it.
Did the beast react any to them shouting profanities?
Not in any spectacular manner. Well, he already looked uncomfortable with the chains and all, and the expression on his face. Repeated that he didn't do it, of course. But
Annoyed,
otherwise,
placid, just mumbling that he didn't do it.
yeah, just mumbling, trying to get out a bit, but not too violent.
So nothing too violent.
No, he was just he doesn't want to be here, and seems more intimidated by the whole shouts and bloodthirst in the air.
Well, he definitely doesn't have the bluster they seem to have given him.
But we don't really have a good report on his behaviour before and after is the issue there. So I put the thought in their heads at least.
I have enough of the issue after, it's of before. I mean, for after, we have him right now. This is after.
The problem is, how do we prove a negative? We're effectively trying to prove that he didn't do it, which seems the antithesis of what we should be doing here. It seems
Well, no,
more
that's
like they
why
need to
that's
prove
why my
that
whole
he
case has
did
been putting forth on someone else were there. That's why I needed a name. I needed an identity for who had those surgical tools of possible grave digging.
Yeah, I'm more arguing I'm not saying that you've done it. No, I think you've done exactly what we should be doing. The problem is, I just don't understand why the fact that, clearly there is a doubt is not coming through here.
Just pretend this is Phoenix Wright.
Because these fucking people want to burn him in the square for a lovely celebration.
Because they have this universal boogeyman they can just blame it on, and all of a sudden they have someone who can fit the point of the boogeyman.
They are happy to let some nefarious types go free just to burn this big lad because, oh, he's different.
I know, and I'm starting to question why I left the Underdark.
I thought we
Because
left.
there you would be the boogeyman.
Yeah, true.
And here I thought we left the Hicks behind in the swamp village. This town's meant to have a university and upstanding education. And then you look at those chuckle fucks up in the gods sitting there. So, we've got possible features. Now, is this just going to be the man who bought them? Is it not the actual owner at this current time?
Probably just bought him.
Yeah, this looks like if it's a shop, and probably the shopkeeper bought it. He sold it to somebody. We need to find out who he sold it to. And Grayson, whatever you did, undo it for the love of cheese.
He's just
I'm not
giving
going
me
back
look
in
like,
this timer on your account, kid.
yeah.
Go.
Why are you?
Drow have cheese.
Why are you lot still here?
Yes. Rothe.
Go get me a name, a man. Get me the owner of those fucking tools, please.
Go. As I lightly give Grayson a shove
I have had to
Okay.
deal with disputes about acorns and arrow shafts. I have not had to do the life and death of a fucking flesh golem.
I do have a suggestion. When it comes to going to that guy's shop, we might want to send someone besides the three of us who went. We could be recognized.
Fine, I will go to the shop. So
You
all
fucking
undo-
what?
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't threaten the guy.
Did the
You
prosecution?
three.
I love that
Undo.
specific. I love that very specific denial. That is reassuring as all fuck. That is. Oh.
I'm going to give an instruction. You three undo whatever Grayson did, because I know that look. I will go talk to Mr. Pog. Can I have the tools? I will go talk to Mr. What's his name?
Ratnich.
Ratnich. There we go.
Definitely you and Sybil should go, aye.
Right. These two will undo what they did. Sybil and I can go. Alright.
I didn't do anything, so
So
Yeah,
Mr.
what did we
Pog
do?
So Mr. Pog can go with you then.
I had hoped the prosecution would bring up some witnesses.
I'd hope they brought forth anything except simply, oh, it was that guy
Yeah,
who got bitten.
They have brought up witnesses. In fact, 7 people from Morast who all testified that they have seen the beast either dragging people off or being attacked when they set an ambush for it at the graveyard, because it has been seen there before.
And that all
So
sits
if you're
as-
just wandering in the graveyard to go visit a person, how would you react if a bunch of people jumped down and tried to capture you?
Well, it's all suppositions and stuff like that there. We've got nothing concrete or that sort of thing apart from just look at this face, Your Honor. And I don't want to go that route because look at that face.
Well, no, but we can also
What's
look
wrong
at
with your
their.
face?
But we've just been working on providing our own evidence. We can also look and take apart their evidence.
I did the best I could with the bite. That's all we've really got. And that's even presuming he keeps scars. He might not.
Then, when their testimonies give possible evidence to his behavior,
There's also the case that he might have legitimately been there, so I don't want to bring up too much attention to it.
no, I mean, remember how they can't determine whether he was acting before or after? Wouldn't that come up in their testimonies?
Should have. Didn't really get a whole lot of time to cross-examine them. But I can use that to buy some time, so I'll bring that up to him.
Yes, you could do that in the meantime too.
Yeah, that's him filling time.
Filibuster, for example.
So,
yeah.
This room should be empty right now. Go!
Right. Let's go
I-
find the. Let's go find the purchaser.
I acquire the tools from Pog and then leave.
Let's see, it lasts an hour, so Sybil gets a bardic inspiration to carry with her.
And that would be cutting close again. Yeah, it's been, let's say, half an hour for the whole thing. There's 1 hour left before the trial for the day closes, for the court closes for the session.
Well, we can't do anything else.
Yeah. Well, you do know there's our parts of the puzzle missing.
That's what Sybil and I are going to go handle. And Grayson, put whatever it is back.
I am going to use the leaden foot to get around faster.
Yeah, the only
Alright,
thing that's
I
missing is
have
what
to-
they're doing, so I'm done.
Yeah.
Grayson's Kelmore's just going to start bringing up things like, what was the interesting? What was his behavior? What was the demeanor of him at the time? Did you hear any cackles? You know, just go on those specific facts of, was he just running away scared?
All of the people, they do seem to be a bit hesitant at that, but they it was exact description how they described that. Yeah, no, they just saw it running away once they noticed the beast. What Basically, they lay in wait. The beast noticed them once they jumped at it, and then it just ran away, cursing, and was eventually bitten and dragged underwater. And at that point, they assumed it was dead, but apparently somehow escaped.
But is this meant to be multiple nights or just the one occasion that they're all agreeing on?
No, basically the beast had been seen several times dragging someone off. Always the same one. And the same creature, the same beast has been dragging off people. It is described as a large hulking figure, which describes the beast well enough.
But it describes many other type of creatures, Your Honor. Let's not get here. It could have been just an orc that was a little bit too big. It could have been a Goliath come down from the mountains. Let's not immediately prejudice this. Like, that's the sort of things he's fighting on just to stretch out time.
What was the creature that bit him, and what was its size?
Yeah, the blood came. Which,
Big.
Yeah, very large. A small one, big Kelmore, and it was the size of a horse.
Yeah, basically a fully grown crocodile size would be a blood caiman.
Yeah, a Florida purebred.
And comparing to our client?
Very large. I think what we're suggesting is a full-grown blood caiman would be 3x3.
Yeah. Not necessarily, but fairly big. Yeah. I just for that one encounter, I just dragged out a crocodile token. But yeah, it would have been at least large-sized. On the verge of being 3x3.
Okay.
Like, the beast itself is also on the verge of being between medium and large. It is just in the book, it is classified as large. That's why the stat block says it's large. But yeah, while that filibuster shit is going on, let's move on to Sybil, because I was going to ask for a history check to see if you remember anything about this particular shop, where to find it, how quick you find it, and such.
22.
Oh yeah, you've been at the shop before. And you find it fairly easily.
All right.
And Ilfrin is going as well, I believe.
Yes, I am going as well. Going with Fire Chicken.
Very well. You find yourself down here at the little alchemist shop. As you enter, you do see there is a wide variety of things in there. Skeletons, various pickled things in jars, alchemical components, and some other strange tools and contraptions whose purpose you are not quite sure what they are. And the man behind the counter is dressed in a very dapper black suit, does wear his green glasses and his tall hat, even indoors, and smiles at you as you enter. Ah, new customers. How can I help you?
I leaned to Ilfrin. Doesn't he seem to fit Pog's description?
Well, that does make sense, considering I would assume he bought it so that he could sell it. It'd probably be best if we just ask him.
Certainly.
flat out
Do you-
say what's going on.
Do you have the tools on you?
I do, and I pull them on out.
All right. We were wishing to inquire about who bought this particular set of tools. It has recently come up in the trial, and we need to ascertain its general line of who has held on to it.
You see, that is a problem. I do have a bit of a reputation, and I do not speak about my customers. I do keep this information purely confidential.
I understand, but as you do have a reputation, should we not be allowed to find the evidence that we need, we will have to go through the courts and get an order to come in. In which case, then the name would be brought up in the local press, and it would be, well, bad for business. We want to keep this quiet and just see justice done.
Mm,
And if we
Give
can
me-
do that, we would like to keep your name out of it.
Exactly.
Give me a persuasion check. You can have advantage for the help from Ilfrin.
I'm going to need it. I have not good charisma. Yeah,
You got a D6.
But then you also have the D6 as well.
Yeah. I will definitely burn that. If I had a nickel for every time I rolled a 1, I'd have 2 nickels. It's not much, but it's strange that it happened twice.
In 3
5
rolls.
seconds.
Not with you.
But yes, he does let his glasses slide down a bit to look at you over them. Lady, I am sure you mean well. However, I do not think the guards would find anything questionable here. I simply like to keep the privacy of my clients.
We never said that it was anything about you being questionable. The point is that somebody would have to come here and then ascertain who bought these items. Which, of course, then your name would probably end up, and then people would know that they were speaking to you about things. And if certain individuals tend to, get a little bit flighty, they might get nervous and not want to come back here for a little bit.
What's more is it sets up that perhaps the beast was getting his tools from here. And suddenly then any particular crime that happened, they'd start coming here to question.
Well, I can with absolute certainty say no beast has come into my shop to buy anything. I believe that would have made quite a commotion if the beast would have run around here and bought things.
And why is it that one of the items that clearly came through your shop was found at one of the scenes of the beast crimes?
I will mention he didn't even look closely at the sergeant's tools yet.
Yeah, no.
As soon as it was mentioned that there might have been one of his customers involved, he just said he doesn't. Basically, acted like he didn't want to have anything to do with that.
I know, but that's what he's just saying.
Yeah. Well, I do not care much for it, and if all goes as the people demand, I doubt that will be much of an issue for me either way.
I really want to set everything on fire. Ilfrin
No,
is
you
starting
don't.
to. No, Ilfrin's ready to start setting things on fire.
Oh,
He's looking very annoyed.
is this the arc change? This is the arc, guys. She's going evil, like we all knew she would.
The beast has been a common scapegoat in this area. Do you really think that once this individual is gone, that the rumors will stop? As soon as someone else is murdered or some other crime is committed, the beast will be right back.
I do not see how this concerns me. I am merely running a humble shop.
Yes, but that's clearly a humble shop that items related to the murders were sold through. The question isn't a legality point, and frankly, I don't think either of us care about that point. The point
Well,
is that others
well,
might care about that.
Well, I mean, grave robbing and vivisection, aren't those particularly frowned upon and possibly punishable by law?
True.
And we did find the tools by upturned and empty graved, along with an individual who is wearing the face of another individual. It is certainly a telling
And
description for the store. We just want to see the proper people punished. That's it.
yes,
And
and
keep your name as far away as possible.
Mm-hmm.
oh, my name is well enough known over here. And people know I do not talk about my clients, and I do not intend to start now.
Says a man who
However,
required a skill check to find his store. You're not that popular.
no, it was more about a matter of speed. Where was I going? Lost track here. Oh, well, but I could perhaps interest you in something else. You can have a look around my shop.
All right. Thank you very much.
Also, I will say, if you want to set things on fire, Ilfrin can definitely do that.
I know I can. I'm not going to, but he really wants to. He's really, really getting to the point where he's very tempted to set half the town on fire.
Can we see the ledger anywhere of his list of sales and clients?
Given how he has been talking, you could get the feeling that he might not be having ledgers for everything.
Well, so much for asking your friend to be a spider, sneak around and look at him while I distract him.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't talk about your clients, it would be counterproductive to have a ledger.
Yeah.
Actually, if you don't talk, you still need to log the business, though.
But they might not want to keep a name for who bought what, just the sales.
True.
Yeah, just this has been sold, not to whom.
Well, no, it'd likely be done under a pseudonym. Because you still have
Could
to
al-
keep track of business.
Could also be.
I don't have anything to make people talk.
Mm-hmm.
You could
have
hold
a
a knife at
sword.
his throat. Yeah.
That isn't violence.
People start
Ilfrin
talking
is-
when you become a bear.
No, if I was going to become anything, I'd become a spider.
How-
a giant spider. That
How
gets
many
people talking.
antiques of fragile nature are in his store? You could
I
be
have
the bull.
Thunderwave.
Yeah.
I have Thunderwave.
Being this giant spider just in the middle. Now you want to talk, huh?
You could try that.
I don't think that'll get the city guard called on me. And Ilfrin is not inclined to end up in the burning thing. It is not very.
He ended up in the burning thing for burning things. Who could have seen that?
He finds the
No.
idea offensive.
The Burning Man is just for actual mass murderers. You wouldn't
Yeah.
end up there for threatening someone.
He still doesn't like the idea. He doesn't think that the prisons here are probably fantastic. He's not on board with this whole thing. So he's not inclined to actually do something that's illegal.
Hmm.
Up until he about gets ready to set fire to the courthouse, unlike the other time where we'd saved the town hall. He might do that.
But yeah, he's not. You get the feeling he won't share anything on the friendly approach.
It's time, Ilfrin. / Ilfrin folk dance.
Well, I guess we just bring it up to the court that
He's not going to dance
he's a
seductively.
grave robber. Or that he's assisting the grave robber. Oh well.
How would that make any sense?
He was the one who last had the tools.
And clearly you know the identity, therefore
Yeah, he was working.
clearly you know the individual. That implies that maybe you're working with them because, business.
And he's not
And-
revealing why he does, so he probably knows what they were being used for.
I do not ask questions of my clients. I simply sell tools. And
You do realize obstruction of justice is punishable.
And more specifically, good sir, are you trying to imply that you're an idiot? You don't seem like an idiot. Are you an idiot?
Interesting
think he's
diplomatic
an idiot.
approach.
He's
Are you an
just
idiot? You look ugly.
Are you an idiot? You don't look like an idiot, but I mean, if you're implying you're unaware of what these individuals were doing with this sort of thing, I mean, that would indicate you're an idiot. Are you going to be telling the city guard that you are in fact an idiot?
Well, at this time, they're looking for any kind of criminal to just burn at the stake.
do give me an intimidation check.
I think you have a higher one, and I'm definitely assisting.
Intimidation, quite possibly, we'll find out.
Well, you've got
I
more
got a
base
0 on it.
charisma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also ill from, though.
I'm
Why is
assisting.
nobody in the party
So-
proficient in intimidation?
Okay.
Johnny is proficient. He just has a +1.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, you're a fighter, because I know Malgren is proficient.
12,
in
13, 14.
intimidation.
See, if somebody else does
He
it,
still
we'll
sucks
get a
at it, but he's
15.
proficient in
This
it.
is for
Yeah.
rollable
Yep.
rolls.
You see, Roll20 is not built for playing games.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay, no, There are a few droplets of sweat, but he doesn't seem to be threatened quite enough to give in yet.
All right, I'll just go to the court and report it. I don't care.
Well, no, Ilfrin kind of pats Sybil on the back and says, why don't you keep talking with our friend while I look over the stock? And as he's wandering around now, he's just kind of flicking his hand a little bit and just the puffs of fire just coming out of it as he's idly looking at things. Particularly anything that looks flammable.
Jesus Christ.
Please,
I think we are
please
the bad
stop
guys.
that. Please
Are we
stop
the
that. I
baddies?
would...
When Kelmore's not around, yes, you apparently are.
He ain't listening.
Violence.
I'm done with this. I really want to set things on fire.
Look, we've tried being diplomatic.
Yes,
Hey,
you
He
start...
ain't listening to diplomatic.
We've
So
tried
no.
everything, and we're
He's
all
just
out of
looking-
ideas.
Oh, do what?
Well, as you do start flaming around, there's a bit more sweat on his forehead. As he gets up, please don't do that. I would like my shop to not explode anytime soon.
Oh, why do you think it's going to explode? And he just kind of holds his hand out and he holds his little ball of fire. Why would it explode?
Because there are many sensitive substances in here.
Such as?
Please. Such as alchemist's fire.
Oh,
That's fun. Where is that?
Not in
think
this
we're the
shop.
bad-
Please leave.
but you
I
just
think
said
we're
it was in the
bad
shop.
guys.
I start looking to see
It is
which
it
one of
is
the
out.
valves looks like it might be alchemist's fire.
Give me an intelligence check.
Just straight in.
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
Now!
Yeah, you can definitely see. You recognize some alchemist's fire vials. You have seen them also. You have seen Sybil use them to test her armaments. You know, you recognize the liquid.
With my hand currently holding the little ball of flame, I wander over. Oh wait, these are these ones here. Yes.
No, these are not it. Please go away. Put that down. Please leave my shop.
Oh, but I happen to. What is in this? I might want to be making a purchase. As he gets a little closer.
Well, you can have it for free. Please leave.
Oh, but I'm not interested in taking it for free. I want to purchase it. And Sybil, oh yeah, what was the other thing? Oh yes, but while we're arranging the purchase of this, so are you absolutely sure you don't want to give us the information about those tools?
He tries to pry the vial out of your hands.
Careful, careful.
Careful! I'm pretty sure this is alchemist's fire. I don't want it to, accidentally. Oh god. Is that going to be strength?
You can also acrobatics it to keep it out of his hands. Basically, contested grappling. Yeah, he reaches.
Yeah, careful! I'm 90% sure this is alchemist's fire. I don't want it to go into my flame. That would make all of us have a very bad day. You don't want the shop to go up in flames, do you? I don't want to go up in flames. That would hurt.
Indeed.
Oh no, I've done it before.
And please put it down. Give it to me. I really do not want to set anything on fire here.
I won't set anything on fire other than my hand. I mean, you can see he holds up the burned hand. I'm quite proficient in it. So point is, how much? And he's gesturing around with the flaming hand, by the way. Sometimes getting it uncomfortably close nearby. Just, as I said, so let's negotiate the price for this. And then while we're at it, again, are you sure you can't tell us who bought those tools from you, good sir? After all, I'm trying to open up a business relationship here.
He looks at the vial, keeps his eyes fixated on it. More sweat appears on his forehead. Dances on the spot for a moment as he seems to think and consider quite hard. Fine. I'll tell you once you give me that vial and go to the door.
Then I want to purchase it.
Well, it costs 1 gold. Give me 1 gold
Well.
and go.
And the information as well?
Mm-hmm.
Once you are at the door.
He pulls out 1 gold coin from his pocket. He hands it over. He wanders over to the door and he stands there leaning up against the door frame.
Right, he goes over to open the door and point outside. Well, it has been Master Vorkstag who has been buying the tools.
Master
Vorkstag.
Vorkstag. I can't talk today.
Vorkstag.
Vorkstag.
Yes, from Vorkstag and Grind's Chemic Works. He's a frequent customer. Usually, well, I am also a customer for him. They do supply me with some chemicals. Now please leave.
Very
We
well.
will leave your name out of it, if we possibly can. Thank you.
Oh,
Please just
he the
leave.
individual? Is he the individual that also provided you with this? And he shows the alchemist's fire.
No, that one was from the university.
Thank you kindly. He puts it into his pocket and goes away,
All right. That's one
whistling
place.
cheerily.
So that's one place we're blackballed from, and we get to see the second place we're going to be blackballed from in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Kalmorn is giving the
the
legal
information was
performance
good.
of his life here.
At least we
I
never
got it.
performed we never threatened violence against the poor guy.
I mean,
You
to
may
be
not have gotten
fair,
the info.
I didn't threaten anything.
Yes!
I just implied
I know, you're like someone walking around with a blowtorch in their hand, turning it off and on at random. I would
Johnny
construe
just
that as
said, I'd
threatening.
hate for you to lose money.
while holding a bottle of napalm.
Look, if we're
I
gonna
mean-
deal with roll 20 not being able to roll above 10, we're gonna have to, use force.
Beat the shit out of all the shopkeepers.
I'm
I
just
want
taking
you to
part in
look.
some basic.
Just look
it's
at the
basic. This is just basic drow diplomacy. He's doing what he's been trained to do. Okay.
Threatening to set people and their belongings on fire.
Let's go to the next shop, Sybil.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully they just give up the information.
That'd be lovely.
It would.
I don't want to be the bad guy every time.
Sure about that.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
that one is down here. Description. Quick. Alright, that's it is a sort of workshop. It's a small brick factory, and there are large leaded windows with bars before them to keep any would-be robber out. It has some a couple iron chimneys where yellow clouds come out of, and there is a large outer wall, and on top of the single large gate that enters, there's a sign that says Workstag and Grind, Chemic Works.
Does it look like it's currently in business and open?
It doesn't look open, but it certainly is in business. As you can see, something is brewing in there. It's a 2-floor building with a small tower and also has a lightning rod on top.
All right, well, I guess we begin by just rapping on the door.
You're just knocking.
Yep.
And this time I'm hoping I don't have to threaten to set the place on fire.
There is actually no response.
Is the front door locked?
There is only the gate with one of those smaller doors inside, but yes, it is locked.
Should we ask a nearby shop when this shop opens?
What time is it now?
Well, it is more of a factory than a shop.
Okay.
So, at this time, fucking around at the... you have half an hour to 40 minutes time before trial closes.
Okay.
Is this the only entrance?
Yes. Through the outer wall, at least.
Are there any people around the area?
See it. Not right now, no.
So there's no peasantry or just...
No, this is at the edge of the city. Most people are at the courthouse or around there. like, you can see this is a small corner at the edge of town. There are no passerbys currently.
I wish I'd taken thaumaturgy.
Do any of the houses around here look like the occupant is still within?
Yeah, you can knock at some doors, see if someone answers.
I will certainly do as such.
Yeah. Eventually, an older woman over here opens up the door.
Good
Ah.
afternoon, madam.
Yes. Hello.
I noticed Vorkstag and Grind is currently closed. Do you happen to know when they open?
Oh, well, they usually don't. I just sometimes see carts going in and leaving again. Occasionally, some people come and go as well, but they tend to just go right through the door. All kinds of people.
Have they received business as of late?
Um,
Or has it just been mostly quiet?
I mean, do you mean deliveries, or they have gotten deliveries and given some? They are good in business after all.
Oh, so they have had deliveries going in and out lately.
Yes, they are well-respected merchants. I just wish sometimes the damn smoke would stop. It's not doing well for my lungs.
Well, we need to get in
Smells.
touch. Well, we need to get in touch with them, so we'll certainly bring up your concern.
It would be appreciated, but I think I really should just probably see about getting some other place to live.
Oh, thank you,
well.
ma'am.
You're welcome.
Do you happen to know, is there any way to get in touch with them?
Well, we go where the deliveries go.
I'm not quite sure. I do believe Master Voxtech has a great many friends in high places as well.
Oh boy.
So, well, I suppose one of the bigger merchants might be able to help you.
Thank you ever so
Or
much.
alchemist.
We appreciate it.
Yes. Well, welcome. Have a good day.
Once we have stepped away a bit, oh, this got complicated. If he's got friends in high places, we have to be very careful how we do this.
Somewhat.
It also puts the kibosh on my initial idea.
Considering
would
they're
have been?
saying they have to be careful and sensitive about this, is the perfect time to resolve Grayson and Pog and Johnny so they can show up.
Very smooth operators, those three.
I was originally thinking I can just levitate up, grab a hold of the wall, pull me up, pull myself over, and then knock on the window where things are clearly happening. They might take offense to that.
I was hoping to find where they give the deliveries and knock there, because if they're still receiving deliveries, then that place should be open, or at least open to knocking.
It sounds like the deliveries are scheduled.
Potentially, but
If there's no other hole in the outer wall, that would imply that the deliveries are scheduled.
Yeah. That would be the case. That if the whole shop is usually closed, it fits a factory business that you only open the gates if either workers come and go or deliveries.
Okay, so
In
they
and
don't
out.
receive new business.
What do you mean?
Well, it's a factory. Factories make things. If you plan to
Yes.
make a delivery, you have to meet with a client in order to set up the
Yes.
delivery.
She did mention that there are all manner of people going in and out, but usually right through the door.
And yet the door is locked.
Yes, which implies these people either have keys or are specifically let in.
Looks like they're not taking new business.
Yeah, that's. Hmm.
Maybe we just have to wait until somebody goes in or out. But we're on a time schedule.
Exactly.
If only someone could turn into a small animal and sneak inside. I hear
I
that works
can't,
very
but the problem
well.
is then we have to talk with somebody, though. That's the problem. So unless something nefarious is going on in there, then I can obviously see and go, oh shit, and then immediately leave again.
Exactly.
I mean, I could check.
Yeah, you could check to see if someone is actually in there.
Okay. I guess I could just turn into a spider.
Mm-hmm.
There are other animals in the world.
A spider is
elephants-
probably least conspicuous. I mean, rat
Yeah.
would kind of draw attention.
You could try weasel. That worked well last time.
No.
No.
I will take the spider, and I will go in.
Mhm.
All right. So you turn into a spider and crawl over.
Yeah, I am trying to go into the house proper, or correction, into the factory proper. Figure out what work is
Right.
going on. Are people actually there?
First you do have to cross the outer wall.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
One of the other
Well,
reasons
yes.
I took spider.
Yeah, there is another. Oh wait. All right. It's just a tiny spider.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you get into the. Let's see. You get into the area that's inside. There is a candle and a cart, or a wagon, rather. And two entrances. There, a smaller one and a larger double-doored one. Both are closed at the moment.
I'll take the double door just because it's probably going to be easier for me to sneak under the double door and that little gap in between the doors. At the floor level.
Mm. All right, you. Let's see if there is a gap fit you. Yeah, you could find a small gap that leads inside.
I scoot on inside.
Yeah, it seems to be a storage room. There are several boxes, crates, and straw bales, seemingly for packing up something. And you do see that, in fact, there are 3 people in there, except they are not quite regular people. They are
Oh.
have some, let's say, deformities. They have patches of scales and fur on them, and one horn jutting out from the side, kind of hunched over, but still fairly big. Do make me history or nature check.
Which one am I better at? I'm a druid, but I am proficient in history, except for I'm not historically accurate.
It's the conspiracy history.
I should have chose nature.
To give you some examples for the king. Yeah, this is nice. This one. Like those, but no, you have no idea about these. But they do look hideous.
Oh, that's great.
Like the freak show is nothing against those.
Oh boy.
And they just seem to be sorting things, packing up some chemicals.
I'm going to try to go a little further in. I want to make sure I have enough time to get out because I can do this for 2 hours. So I want to make sure I have time to get out with time to spare. But I want to see if there seems to be anything else. Is the whole place just ran by individuals like this? That's mostly what he wants to figure out.
This, let's see. There is one more double door leading further in.
I'll take that double door.
That leads you into a stable where horses are. Yeah, there are 2 horses. Both look kind of old. And there are also some places of straw with some leftover rations, kind of man-sized. Like the size. Actually, there are 3 piles, which look like they might fit these creatures which were packing stuff up.
Oh, goody. Right. So, and I take it that the stable door leads outside them?
No, that's basic.
Okay, so that was the whole thing with the double door section?
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of forgot to cut that part of the map out of the PDF, which makes this whole thing a bit difficult to describe properly. But I'll do it. Basically, that's the part you can see. The middle one is where the people have been working, and the right one is stables. And the left part, there's a kennel and the car.
Okay, so he would definitely go out and he would try the smaller door.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that he's.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure if you would get to that area, but yeah, yet. But basically, you see the lower area here, There is a second floor, so there might be other things as well. But for the moment, you can see these things working in there, the horse, and their sleeping places. Basically, the packing station.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the main thing is that there's nothing really here for Ilford to look at.
Yeah.
Mm. Then yeah, because I would want to go in the small door. If not, then I just would have to go out and tell Sybil that we got a problem.
Yeah. You could leave without an issue.
Yeah, but I probably you know what? I'll go out and see Sybil.
All right. You make your way out and return to Sybil as a spider.
I change back. Sybil,
Yes.
we need to go have a word with some individuals.
Ah, is it what I expected? That the place is just
No,
abandoned, stuff let it going, and that the founders or workers there were actually one of them was the grave robber?
no.
No?
We need to ask somebody who would actually know these things. Probably the judge when we get a moment. Okay. Let me. How may I phrase this?
What did you say?
The individuals working in the packing room, at least, do not look like the entirely full human beings. I don't know what they are.
I look at Ilfrin, the elf.
Very funny. You know what I mean.
And her lover
Something
being
isn't
partial
right.
human,
No,
partial elf.
I somewhat understand, but like, give me an example. What did you see?
They all looked like
Short.
Grayson. It was creepy.
Short, partially furry, partially scaly.
The same individual?
Yes.
They were actually various heights. There was
various heights.
There's one 6 foot, one 5 foot, the other one somewhere in between.
Yeah, we're talking about heights from 6 to 5 foot. Something's not quite right. And if we're looking for monsters, by the way, these could all qualify.
Hmm.
So
Would there
here's my
be-
question.
Did you see any that looked about the size of the beast?
Was the bigger one beast size?
The beast is a bit over 8 feet, 9 feet,
Okay, so no, not
maybe
quite.
10 feet. Yeah.
Hmm.
These ones at
But-
least were. You don't know what they are, but there could exist smaller ones or bigger ones as well.
Yeah,
Did
not
you
sure.
hear them? Did you hear them talk or communicate at all?
Were they?
No, they've been just grunting, grumbling maybe a bit, but no real coherent words. Just focused on the task. They didn't seem too enthusiastic about it.
Grunting and grumbling and not particularly enthusiastic. Not to mention, I think they might have been sleeping in the stables with the horses. So there are multiple.
Could you repeat that last one? I don't think I got it.
No, you did. It looked like they were sleeping in the stables with the horses when I went on into the horses area. So in the straw, with where the horses should be. So I'm trying to figure out, is this a known fact? And this is okay here?
Judging by the fact that they don't allow people in, I would say it is not allowed and not known.
Because this is almost getting the vibes of, they kind of have to live there.
Well, with all the beast talk, yes. That would certainly be bad for the business.
You don't put your workers in straw piles to sleep if they're prized.
Turns out this is perfectly normal in town. You just miss them as you're walking around.
No,
Every shop
sometimes-
hires several of them.
Sometimes apprentices will sleep in the smithy stables if there's no other room. It's more the fact that they seem to not be, people you'd normally encounter wandering the streets, being scaled, horned, and furry all at the same time.
I would describe to Sybil exactly what I saw on each of the individuals in question. To see if maybe it jogs her memory. Because I'm a drow. It's not like the surface thing is new to me.
Did you notice any kind of surgical marks?
I was muted. You could make a nature or history check as well, Sybil.
Well, of those two, I have to go history. I think yeah. No, actually. Oh, no, history. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you would be able to identify the description for them to be what is called mongrel men. They are regular humanoids generally, but they are just incredibly deformed and usually looked down upon because they are fucking ugly.
Okay, but they're not
But
like created monsters that they're trying to hide away from.
no, they are not actually evil. They are rather peaceful, actually. They just have
So this suspicion they're having is
As-
actually more of a charity case.
yeah, they
Yeah.
actually have a bit of bad reputation because they have a very varied ancestry. Let's say that.
But you also found stable doors, yes?
Yes.
All right, could you show me where those are?
I would. It's literally when you go in, it would make an immediate right through the double doors.
You would also know that the mongrel men are oftentimes enslaved by less scrupulous races.
Which is what Ilfrin is concerned about here.
Well, I was hoping I could knock on the door and maybe at least get someone's attention.
If they're powerful, I'm concerned that somebody knows about this. This is why I'd rather bring this to the judge in private. Because I do not want to step on the wrong person's toes and then get implicated in the wrong fashion.
Well, see, it might also be a charity case, because as stated by our DM, they're looked down upon. This
If
may
it's a
be
charity-
so that people just don't wander in, see them, start hurling insults or trying to hurt them.
If that's the case, then why are they sleeping in the hay pile?
Because they don't have homes and there might not be enough place for them to sleep.
You could simply put bunks in the stable where they're sleeping.
We'd have to talk to the owner for that.
I mean, to put this into perspective, like tieflings are often persecuted in certain cities, and these mongrel men have it even worse. Like they are usually, if at all, found in ghettos or sewers in cities, at least, and are more of a survival-oriented people that live in caves or forests far off of civilization.
If this is a charity case, then theoretically, if we are going to be talking to this person, I might be the better option because, likewise, it's one of those situations where sometimes people don't want to deal with me like they wouldn't want to deal with them. If it's a charity case, I should be more likely to be able to get through.
But the big problem is we still don't have anything to bring back. We just now know the tools were brought here, and what could have been, oh, they're making monsters, turns out just to be mongrel men.
Hmm.
Although we have heard mostly about Vorkstag being, well, appreciated by the people. We haven't heard much about Grine. Then again, Vorkstag could just be the face while Grine runs the place.
Which is also possible.
Uh,
I want to know more about these people before we absolutely try to go in a bit deeper.
Do you think the owner would be at the trial?
It's possible. I'm not sure. It depends on a lot of factors, and I don't know. Theoretically, so I take it you don't know anything about these people.
I just know that they're treated very harshly, and in this
Oh,
case,
no.
it
I mean, Vorkstag and Grime. You have
don't
no
believe
knowledge
so.
of it.
I don't believe so. I mostly spent my time in the university. Although they, if they got alchemical fire from,
Yeah, they do supply parts of the university as well. So you give me another history check. You might have heard something.
all right, 20.
All right. You do know that Grine is a gnome, peculiar looking a bit,
Okay.
but yeah, about that size that only gnomes have. And Vorkstag is actually rarely seen. And Grine conducts most of the business openly, at least.
I will explain all this.
Do you know anybody who they deal with directly in the university? Anyone that you're on friendly basis with?
No, they don't.
I would
None that you-
assume probably with Neria, because she certainly would use a lot of alchemical fire.
The thing is, she would probably create her own
That
of the
too.
raw materials. And the way she gets her stuff is usually by requisitioning those. So she would not exactly know where they come from. She just puts in an order and gets those delivered to a workshop.
No, not really certain who else.
And I don't think Grayson or Pog would know.
I will also point out that this time the trial would slowly run out. So you might be able to get back to catch the tail end of it, but not really enough to kick off a discussion about the whole thing, unless you had really good evidence for any.
And we don't.
Not yet. So So theoretically, we need to get more information about these folks, and then we need to actually try to get in there and see if there's anything going on that could be problematic. As for the fact that obviously we have quote unquote beasts that are still in the town, which could also explain why there's multiple sightings and none of the sightings make any sense.
True.
I don't want to throw them completely under the wagon, however, just because I don't want to just ruin the days of some innocent people potentially. So we need to know if it's common knowledge that they're hiring these mongrel men.
Unless we can find the owner at the trial, I don't think we're going to be able to do that. At least not in time.
Oh no, not in time. I at this point, I'm not worried about finishing this on time for today. This is something for the courthouse tomorrow. But
Well, a golem's life hangs in the balance right now.
yes, the main problem is we don't have anything. So it's more important that we get something that we can use and present tomorrow, because it's not like we don't have to necessarily have it all today. Just more important that we get the information.
But if they render a verdict today, they only need one.
No,
they're not.
they won't. They won't. There is
Okay.
no verdict until the third day.
All right.
So you have this night and the next one, or evening and night to
Right, 48 hours till the dawn of the final day.
Yeah, pretty much. In 48 hours, you have to have brought enough evidence to give reasonable doubt about the Beast's guild. Which the first thing might have already worked. You aren't quite sure about this, but you have sown some seeds of doubt.
Let's try to finish this line of reasoning through, and then we have to get out of this city to go check out the next place.
Herkstuck.
Yeah.
Right, so
All
you're... Oh, Pio is missing.
There she is.
Ah, welcome back. Are you back?
Uh-oh.
Apparently not. Yeah, I would assume the way would slowly go back to the courthouse.
Yeah. Unless there's, anything else that we can think of. But
Yeah.
It's also about
And-
wrap-up time, I think.
Yeah. So the aftermath of the court would happen next session.
Yep.
All right. Can we hear you now?
I can hear you now. It's finally connected.
Yay!
Yes. Now we can hear you. Just in time for wrap up, because we are on time to session.
I just said we were supposed to just report back.
Yeah. You head back and we'll do the wrap up. The aftermath of the...
Well, you say that, there's another part that's still left undone.
Yeah.
Is Grayson going to be a criminal?
What was
How's he
Chris
gonna
going
get
to
the-
do?
Those
Yes,
three
he
were
gets
to
the book
return the
back.
ledger, yeah.
Ah, right.
I would try to do the same thing I did to get the ledger out.
Do you
Sneak it
have
back.
Do you have enough spell slots for that?
Oh yeah. Well, the Misty Step. One of the Misty Steps was free,
Ah, right.
or because I have that feat.
Yeah. Assuming you are not doing it completely stupid, you could wait until there's no one inside.
Yeah, I don't have to do it, immediately. But
Yeah.
yeah, I could sneak back in.
Yeah. I'll give you enough credit that you can manage that. However, there is a question of how much time passes. Do roll me a perception check.
Can you roll that? Because I
what
let
check you
perception
want?
time out. Perception.
Yeah.
Perception.
Just to see how long you require to be absolutely certain there is no one in the room. Not that long.
Grayson is perceptive.
Yeah.
See, it works when she.
And you're in and out. Fairly quickly.
Alrighty then. So I can end the stream, yeah?
Yes, you can.